Okay, good evening everybody and welcome back to Press Play. I'm your host JJ48 and tonight we are continuing with Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith Lords. So last time you might recall we made it off of Paragus. We managed to escape the capital ship that was chasing us by blowing up essentially the entire asteroid field, starting a chain reaction. And made it to Telos, where we were put under house arrest while they investigated the incident. Because it's, I guess, nearby system, they want to make sure we're not dangerous. But we also just got word that our ship was cleared, and we are free to roam around the facility, although we can't actually leave the planet yet. Let me look through our quests. Just kind of make sure we're not missing anything. So we have arrested. Lieutenant Gren has released you from house arrest, but you must remain on board Citadel Station until the Republic completes its own investigation of the Paragus incident. You may use apartment C3 in residential module 082 until the investigation is complete and you are free to leave. Ebonhawk's IND. Lieutenant Gren told you the Ebonhawk's IND is complete. I think that was like, what, inspection and detainment or something? But not. I'm pretty sure the I is inspection or investigation, but I don't know if that's detainment or what. It seems like it'd be odd for detainment to be listed after inspection, but you must visit the TSF station in Entertainment Module 081 and complete the necessary paperwork to get it and the rest of your belongings out of impound. Okay, so we'll definitely want to go visit Entertainment Module 081, and maybe we'll get to do some paperwork. That would be exciting. Okay, Czerka calling. Jana Lorso, Czerka's executive officer on Citadel Station, wants you to come by Czerka's offices in Residential Module 082 East. She wants to offer you a contract as well as prevent you from aiding the Ithorians. And speaking of the Ithorians, Moza, representing the Ithorian planet restoration interests on Telos, wants you to come to the Ithorian compound in Residential Module 082 West and speak to Chodo Habat. You might recall while we were stuck in house arrest here, we had a couple callers. Moza was the Ithorian who actually showed up in person and said, hey, we're trying to help with the restoration going on here on Telos, but having some issues would like you to help out with. And then Czerka didn't call in person, called on the on our view screen, I guess, saying, hey, we want you to not work with the Ithorians and you should work for us instead, and can't promise you any like feel good you're doing the right thing, but we can promise you a lot of money. So then we have False Batu. It's a bonus mission. An assassin disguised as Batu Rem, a TSF officer on Citadel Station, made an attempt on your life while you were in prison there. It might be worth trying to find out who hired him and why. Okay, yep, while we were still locked up in the little cages, this assassin who was disguised as an officer came in and tried to kill us, I think, but then he also he let us out of the cages first. I guess maybe he needed to do that to kill us, but then we were able to overpower him. I don't know. It seemed like a very, very poorly thought out assassination attempt. So I guess maybe we can do some investigation and figure out why it was such a poorly planned assassination attempt. And then rebuild HK47. We need to find some more parts for HK. I don't know how many of these, if any, can be found here on Telos, and how many will be others. I think, if I recall, this is one that at the very least we'll have to visit a couple planets to be able to get everything. But we'll certainly keep an eye out for any that we find. Droid processor, a droid chassis, and a control cluster are what we still need. Okay, so with that, I wonder if we can I guess T3 is probably have to fill out paperwork 'cause he's probably considered like our possession being a droid, so. Okay, so this is apartment C3. Try to remember where it is. I'm sure from wandering around I'm going to get lost and probably wander into everybody else's apartment each time we come back, but so let's just see what's in there now. C2 looks very similar to our apartment. I wonder if these apartments are like are these just apartments that the TSF had to go find an apartment that was free and then rent it for a few days while they kept us here? Or like is this bank of apartments, you know, owned or rented out to the TSF and they I don't have an option to pick the... No, maybe Atten. No, Atten should have pick lock ability. Maybe it's because we don't have all of our stuff here. Oh well, guess we can't break in and see what's in there. At least not yet. Okay, a couple native Telosians arguing in the corner here.
Czerka's mercenaries are getting out of hand, and they're too much for the TSF to handle. We need Republic troops to restore order.
How's the audio on this? Is it too... is it audible? Is it too loud, too quiet? Hopefully...
The war has really inflated prices here in the Outer Rim. Medical supplies are in short supply and high demand.
Looks like it might be a little bit low, but I don't want to bump it up too much and just up it a little bit. Because these doors go nowhere, probably just like janitorial supplies or something. Oh, here is an Ithorian, but not a named Ithorian. These contract disputes are quite distressing. The planet will not grow strong while we bicker with Czerka. Oh. Okay, you just stayed here to tell me that and then wander off. Okay, apartment complex B. On the one hand, I kind of appreciate, you know, their attempt to add a little bit of greenery in the middle here, but these trees, maybe it's just like their dormant season or something, but they all just look dead. It doesn't look very okay, don't get stuck on the benches. It doesn't look very relaxing hanging out with these things. They just look dead and depressing. But maybe this is like their winter, and you know, come spring they'll be all full of life again. Okay, let's see apartment B. Apartment B also has 3 rooms and looks like it comes with the same couple arguing with each other or discussing things with each other.
I hear you.
Here we go. Now we can crack open this one.
Stuck.
Nope, we can't. What the? I told your boss already. I'm getting your credits. I have a good contract with Eh? You're not from the exchange. What do you want? Okay. What does the exchange want with you? Or do you sell droid parts? Oh, that's a good question. Maybe we can find an HK part with him. Yeah, do you sell droid parts? Yes, I do. Oh, cool. Okay, not sure why that was our first guess. I mean, I know why I chose it because it looked like an interesting option to choose, but I don't know why our character would have just barged into someone's apartment and said, "Hey, do you buy droid parts, or do you sell droid parts?" Let's see. So we have like a bunch of plating and armor and like various sensors and carbonite projectors. That I'm not seeing any HK parts, and that's really all I was interested in at the moment. So, okay. Although, I guess if we do need repair kits or parts or anything, we can always come back here, and he might be a good supply for that. Okay. Oh, okay. Now that I can actually see in here a little bit more. So it says this was an apartment, but this isn't an apartment. This is a shop. Like, you clearly don't seem to live here unless you just like push these droids off the workbench to sleep at night or something. Speaking of which, you do have a workbench that we can probably come to use if we need to. Okay. Oh.
Just say the word.
Not sure why some of these are locked that we can't pick them. I don't know if they'll open up later when we do something, or if it's just we need 3 of them here for the looks, but we don't want one of them to open up. Although that seemed odd in our apartment complex where the 3rd one doesn't open up, but the 2nd one that does open up is empty. You'd think they could just throw an extra empty room in there, at the very least. Okay, let's see what apartment complex A has. Is it? Apartment complex A can't afford the little arguing couple, I guess. Oh. They get a table in their apartment and a double bed. So instead of like the 3 single beds, they have a large double bed and a couple chairs, so I guess maybe a couple lives here. With an Arcanian energy shield. Which seems kind of odd that TSF is... the security forces are like, oh, okay, we're letting you out on... you can't leave the planet, but we're letting you run free until, the Republic finishes their investigation and I guess either says they need to detain you or says you're free to go. And so the first thing we're going to do is break into some apartments and take their stuff. In fairness, they didn't lock the doors or the chests, so, whose fault is it really? Alright, we have adrenal stamina and biorestorative underlay, so we have a mod for some armor. Good.
Hey, what are you doing in my apartment?
Oh, let's see. Just looking around or helping myself. What does it look like? Yeah, we're just looking around because we thought these apartments didn't have people in them, and so we could just take what we wanted.
Looked like you were doing more than just looking.
Sorry, I just figured... And? You're gonna stop me? I'll be going now. I guess we should apologize. Yeah, I just figured you didn't exist because you weren't in your apartment 24/7.
Figured what? You just break into my apartment and take everything I owned? Are you crazy?
I prefer to think of it as I'm a main character in a video game. So, well, when you put it that way, though.
Yeah, I thought so. Get out of here before I get the TSF.
Okay, I'll be going now. Or I'm not going to take that from you. Nah, well, we can leave him alone. But we still get the biorestorative underlay, so... A lesson was learned, and we still got an item. Great. Underlay can have a variety of effects, depending on the armor that they're applied. Okay. It's a little disappointing it doesn't tell us anything specific about it, just says, hey, it's an underlay. But regeneration, too. That will be a pretty nice underlay once we get our armor back and can apply it to something. Okay, who's this? Hello, sir. You are not telling me to stay out, so I am going to come in and greet you. Hopefully that is not considered a threat. Mr. Hara. Hello there! Wow, so when the Ithorian was talking to us, it was all like, here's a full paragraph and you have 2 seconds to read it. This guy says hello there and they're going to leave it up that long. Okay. I see how it is. Who are you? What do you do here? Or I'll be going now. Who are you? My name is Hara. I'm an employee of Czerka Corporation. I probably should have figured that from the outfit. That looks. Oh, actually, if that's Czerka's symbol, I think we saw that symbol just outside in this apartment complex. In the A apartments, this symbol was on the wall. We'll check that out when we get there. So okay, so that's Czerka's symbol. So what do you do here? I'm a data processor. It is a thankless job and the pay is poor, but I have no choice but to take it. I have desperate need of credits and there is little else for me to do. That or gamble, but that is what got me into this predicament in the first place. What is this predicament? Or let me guess, you have a gambling debt you must pay off. We don't need to be that direct. Let him say it. I used Romana, the girl of my heart, as collateral. I have a weakness for Pazak. You must understand, my hand was unbeatable. There was no way I could lose. You bet your girlfriend as collateral in a card game. There was no way I could lose. But you did. Or perhaps he cheated. Or you should never wager more than you can afford to lose. I mean, I don't think there's anything that we could say to really make the situation better, but just trying to go with little tidbits of wisdom that he's probably already figured out for himself at this point, hopefully. It seems like I'd just be kicking him while he's down. So, yeah, but you did lose. How did that happen? If you had an unbeatable hand, how did you lose? Indeed I did. And now Romana is indentured as a dancer to Doten Het, and no doubt she hates me. Well, that... Are you surprised? I mean, of course, you did make her a slave. Seems actually understandable. That is why I'm working day and night, selling my own life to Czerka, that I may buy her back from Doten. But it will take months, maybe years, for me to amass those credits. Doten could take her away from here. Okay. Perhaps I could be of assistance. Or what is the price for her? Or good luck, I won't save you from your own stupidity. I mean, if this were just like this guy was like, hey, I bet my new speeder because I thought I had an unbeatable hand, maybe I would just leave him to his own stupidity. Like, okay, you lost your speeder and that's it. But in this case, like, dude, I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this because, as far as I can tell from your story, your girlfriend had nothing to do with it and really doesn't deserve to have this happen. So, perhaps I could be of assistance. You would do that for a stranger? Like I said, the amount is not small. Doten Het demands 2,000 credits for her freedom. What will you give me to intercede on your behalf? Or I think I can persuade Doten to see things our way. I'll see what I can do. Oh, maybe we could just like force persuade him to give her up. That could be useful. Yeah, we'll talk to this Doten, see what we can come up with. Truly? Then I wish you good luck, for no amount of pledging, begging, or otherwise has worked for me. For pleading. Okay, so okay, I guess we'll go rescue your girlfriend, who probably, like you said, probably is not your girlfriend anymore. Okay, there's the symbol that he had on his arm. So I guess these must be Czerka employee apartments. Okay, that's probably why that guy was so angry at us taking his stuff, because we all know that Czerka are kind of the bullies of this game. That's the only reason that he was upset. An information terminal. Citadel Station Information Terminal, main menu. Okay, we're in Residential Module 082 East. Level Information Terminal. Level is accessible from other information terminals. Please enter command. Okay, well, let's download the area map. Okay. Okay, map downloaded. And transit to another module. Well, we don't want to do that yet, but it's good to know that if we want to go between the modules, it looks like we can... it looks like we can come here and then, like, warp to another module, so... Like, this goes to Entertainment Module 081. You'll probably pass that. There's other modules, so this will be like our little fast travel system, I guess. But let's see what else is in the... Here. Czerka Corporation, okay. So there's Czerka. Might want to talk to them, I guess. An exchange thug. Bumani Exchange Corporation. Is it intentional that they have exchange in their name, or is this like, we think we're being clever by we're gonna make it sound like we're a money exchange or something, or stock exchange, but we're actually part of the criminal group exchange? Because otherwise that seems very odd if a organized crime group is just flat out advertising. It'd be like walking around a city and just seeing like, hey, this is the Scapelli Mafia office or something. That's okay. This goes. Okay, this is Residential Module 082 West. Okay. So where was? Entertainment Module 081, we can get our stuff back. Let's go there first. Because that way we'll be well armed for, if we need to, if any trouble arises. Okay, I like the view from here. Of course, this is, recall we're on a station that's floating above the planet, like over like a quarter of the planet or something. See a shuttle flying around, but I can't really see it with this. Can't really get an angle that doesn't have this bar blocking it. So, all right, we can go up or down. One. And knee. Maybe that's supposed to be a 2 or a 3, or I guess it's probably more likely that that's meant to be Star Wars looking symbols, and maybe it's just a coincidence that this one looks like a 1. Okay, what's up here? Can't do that. And can you take a look at this? No. Okay. Oh, I see. So we actually... This area looks very different from where we were, because we actually came by shuttle. Okay, so when we went into that one area, we got on board a shuttle, came over here, and then that's how we would get back when we want to go back. So, okay. Kind of interesting they did it that way, even though they don't have like a animation or anything. Okay, yeah, seeing it that way, I'm guessing that's supposed to be like a stylized 2. It seems odd that it's broken like that, but let's see. The big drop with no guardrail or anything. It seems odd to just have this large open area when everything else is enclosed with windows. I'm just imagining how much it would, like, how how much are we wasting heating and cooling this place? But I guess that doesn't really... we're not the ones paying that price, so... Okay, so this is a Czerka store, I guess. Dendis Dobo. Greetings, my name is Dendis, and if you wish to purchase or sell goods, you have come to the right place. Avoid dealing with my brother Samhan. He is unscrupulous and deceitful. I heard that, you mince. Hear what you like, ruffian, I do not care. Do you see how he is? Disgusting. Do I see how he is getting insulted when you insult him? Yeah, I see that much, I guess. Just let me shop. Okay, so let's see. XR Kuhn's light battle suit. Attributed to XR Kuhn, this armor may well have been one of those worn by the Dark Lord prior to his defeat 40 years ago. He was rarely without considerable yet flexible personal armor. XR Kuhn, I believe, was one of the Jedi Masters that we encountered their tomb. Last game on Korriban. I forget. I remember there were the tombs of the Jedi or the Sith Masters, and I thought there was one name that came up who wasn't entombed there because he was too recent. I forget if XR Kuhn was the more recent one or if he was one of the ancient ones. So okay, we have a bunch of generic armor. Well, not generic armor, but well, I guess I'll say generic armor, stuff that doesn't really have too much of a story behind it. But Verpine Zal alloy mesh. Using the highly expensive Zal alloy, the Verpine have developed a suit without peer. The only thing greater than the protective capabilities of this armor is the price. How much is it? 9,000. Yeah, that is kind of pricey. Okay, Gamorrean War Axe. I'm looking like anything that's attributed to a particular species or culture or person, thinking might have a little bit of a story behind it. So Gamorrean war axes, much like their namesake species, are heavy, unsubtle, and generally a very damaging influence in almost any situation. Okay. Rhodian Death Blade. Okay, so one-handed like sword dagger thing. A more advanced version of the Rhodian Blade, this savage weapon leaves its victim writhing in pain. Its design is unsuitable for weapon upgrades. Okay, so we can see there's more things that are like we can have a lot more things that upgrade weapons in different ways, but we're also seeing a lot of weapons if they already have a bunch of attributes, like this one has does some damage to abilities when you attack with it. Has an attack modifier and does more damage but as a trade-off, it's not upgradable. Okay, Sith War Sword. Though most favor lightsabers, some Sith prefer the more visceral feel of metal-cutting flesh. These blades are usually blended with cortosis to protect against lightsaber sparring damage. Okay. Cyan Crystal. A faceted crystal used in the construction of a lightsaber. It glows faintly with an inner cyan light. Having a cyan lightsaber might be kind of cool. I don't want to spend too much money at the moment, but I might come back and grab that. I'm not sure how common lightsaber color crystals will be later. Okay, an Aratech Ion Master. So this is an ion weapon. Used better against droids. This capable sidearm is at the top of Aratech's Ion Blaster line. It is designed for multi-purpose use, though obviously it is best against droids. While ion weapons are generally less damaging against organic opponents, they are powerful against droids. Also, ion damage can penetrate some defenses that will stop typical blaster fire. Ion weapons cannot utilize most power pack upgrades. Okay, so it can upgrade the scope or the chamber, but not the power pack. And we can see it does a bit of damage, but does a lot more against droids. Okay, Sonic Blaster. Not upgradable. The Sonic Pistol of Arcanian design is as potent as a normal blaster, but with the many benefits of dealing sonic damage. Sonic weapons can temporarily reduce an opponent's dexterity. Additional, many types of shields and defenses are ineffective against sonic attacks. Okay. Verpine Droid Disruptors. Okay, another ion weapon. While they may have borrowed liberally from designs the Bothans initiated, the Verpine say you can't argue with results. These weapons are simply devastating against droids. Okay, our Gazdan Riot Buster. So we have ion and sonic pistols. We have ion and sonic rifles. During the Argazdan subjugation of the Lordians, non-lethal technology was a profitable commodity. The Argazdan Riot Buster knocks its target to the ground and stuns them. Okay, we have a repeating blaster carbine. Weapon allows the user to fire more quickly than usual, increasing his chances of survival without drastically changing the amount of equipment he would normally carry. Okay, targeting visor. Accuracy glove. Actually, gloves might be helpful because we're trying to do an unarmed build, or we're just like punching and kicking. Again, seems kind of odd that it seems focused on gloves when our character does a lot more kicking, but we have unarmed combat is an ancient tradition in the Echani culture. These combat gloves help these old techniques to be competitive against the most advanced melee weapons. Okay, does more damage, does an additional attack modifier when unarmed. Incredibly expensive, but okay, we'll keep that in mind. Okay, Nagai combat gloves, which don't have any offensive bonuses, but have some defensive buffs, resist more energy, and get better saving throws. The Nagai who favor knife fighting employ these gloves to foil those who attempt to break their charge with blaster fire. Okay, Bothan precision gloves. Immunity, or some immunity to fire, slashing damage, some resistance to fire damage. It improves fortitude saves, demolition skill, dexterity. I'm not sure what the difference is between damage immunity and damage resistance. Maybe that's... I mean, resistance, I'm pretty sure I understand. Resistance 5 versus fire means anytime you take fire damage, subtract 5 from it. And if you're taking fire damage that's less than 5, you just take nothing. Damage immunity, I'm not sure. Is there any way to... only thing I can guess is maybe that means like there's a 25% chance of just not taking any damage or something. I have to look that up at some point. Okay, so for obvious reasons, these multi-purpose gloves are highly sought after by demolitions experts. Okay. And unarmed accuracy gloves. Some physical damage, attack modifier, and reflex saves. These supple gloves add to impact and are suitable for parrying blades, effectively improving unarmed combat skills. So, actually very similar to the Chani accuracy gloves, except these have even better damage. Okay, what's SD belt? Okay, this Aratech sound dampening belt reduces all sounds that the user might make. Okay. Okay, so increases stealth skill. And then again, damage immunity 25% versus Sonic. Okay, Czerka utility belt, just a little bit of a bunch of stuff. This utility belt comes with a variety of tools to assist the wearer with many tasks. It was originally developed by Czerka Corporation for their own maintenance staff and quickly found use throughout the Republic. Okay. So don't think there's anything else we want. Let's go over here to totally not talk to your jerk of a brother. We're just going over. Hey, dude, what do you have? Samhan Dobo. Welcome. You've made the right decision coming to me instead of my brother, Dendis. He is not quite... No. Nonsense, I simply have principles. That is what I was referring to. Okay, so I think he was saying something like he hasn't grasped how to properly give customers what they want or something. So let me shop. He might be, maybe he's doing some, maybe this is like some more illegal. Don't see an HK unit of any kind here. But yeah, like the other guy was having like, oh hey, here's ion blasters and sonic blasters that are, you know, non-lethal or less lethal stuff, and maybe some vibroblades and things. But this guy has grenades. He has adrenals that, you know, I guess are kind of druggy. Maybe not looked upon so favorably. Terra survival gloves, just all saves +1. These gloves name as a marketing tactic to remind people that a little extra protection is a good investment. Developed by Czerka following the bombardment of Terrace by Darth Malak, these all-purpose gloves became quite popular. Okay, so you're using the disaster of Terrace. Remember in the last game, we had... Terrace was the first planet that we landed on where we were looking for Bastila, and at the very end, when we had just... we were just taking the starship and escaping the planet, Malak was like, this is taking too long trying to find Bastila, and the others just bombard the planet and basically didn't blow it up like he, you know, like Alderaan was blown up in the movies, but he bombarded the planet very heavily, killing, if not everybody there, you know, a huge number of people, and not a good time. And Czerka decided to use that bombardment to have the Terrace survival gloves, cheap little, just +1 to all save gloves. I will give them this. This very much helps establish the tone of Taris, or not Taris, of Czerka. That's, I guess, wouldn't expect any others from them, or anything else. Okay, meditation band, damage immunity 20% versus dark side, plus additional will saves and wisdom +1. This potent device helps shield one's mind from dark thoughts and influences. It will not protect the user from evil that stems from within, however. Okay. So it'll help protect against, like when fighting a dark side, fighting a Sith, if they are using dark side force powers on you, then it'll help protect you from it. It doesn't protect you from getting like dark side influence. Like if we're talking to someone and we choose the option, yeah, I'm just going to kill you or something, we'll still get dark side points because it's not what we should be doing. Okay, so a lot of stuff, but then there's... What are these suits up here? Okay, Zaysan Shah Initiate Armor. Okay, armor proficiency, light. Defense bonus 4, max dexterity bonus 4, saves fortitude +1. Does not restrict use of force powers. This is important because I believe we haven't really gotten into it much, but I believe wearing heavier armors, normally the Jedi just have robes, and we've gotten like better and better robes, but they were still just robes. We weren't wearing, you know, even light armor, much less medium or heavy armor. And part of that is because wearing heavier armor than robes usually restricts force powers. I don't know if there's an explanation in this universe, but I think it's a holdover from D&D rules where arcane magic can't be cast in heavier armor, and probably just helps to balance so you can't your Jedi can't be walking around in heavy armor, blasting everything in sight with force lightning or something. Unless you get special armor. So this is special armor that doesn't restrict the use of force powers. Zaysan Shah initiates are known for their survival skills and resourcefulness. Their flexible armor is very durable and can be upgraded with some underlays. The Outer Rim planet Yanabar was the home of the Zaysan Shah, who developed their force powers as a means of surviving the harsh planet. Zaysan Shah stress independence and survival as well as assistance to those in need. I'll have to check once we get our stuff back, but I'm pretty sure this is better than whatever we were wearing before. It's probably better than Krea's equipment. There's 2 of them available, so we might be back to buy a couple of these. This might be good Force user equipment. Then we have the Jalshay Neophyte armor, which, okay, comparing these two, 1 less defense. Doesn't get the fortitude save, but it does get more charisma and persuade skill. Okay, it's also kind of nice, be able to persuade people more. Also does not restrict use of Jedi power, Force powers. So Jalshay neophytes have begun their lifelong quest to understand the nature of the Force. Their light armor carries with it an aura of dignity and competence. The Jalshay concentrate on intellectual study of the Force, seeking to understand it at a mental level rather than a spiritual one. Jalshay are typically exceptional diplomats, but are less successful in physical pursuits. Okay. These are just like regular armors. None of these allow special, like, use the Force while wearing them stuff. No, okay. Oh, this is kind of a long one. Zabrak Vibroblade. Though believed to have been constructed by the Zabrak, this Vibroblade is rarely used by them. The Zabrak feel their combat skills sufficient to make this weapon's fine balance irrelevant. Okay, so some extra bonus and bonus feat finesse melee weapons. So finesse means that you use dexterity instead of strength when using a melee weapon. So this would be a good weapon for somebody with high dexterity. Interesting. The Zabrak apparently make these, but don't use them because they're like, yeah, we don't need that finesse skill. Alright, well, sir, nothing to buy at the moment, but once I get my stuff back and can take inventory better of what I need, we might be making a return trip. Please, I don't want any trouble. It was an accident, I swear.
That didn't look like an accident to me or my associate here. It looked like you wanted to make a fool of him.
No, that wasn't the way it was. I did not mean to disturb your drinking. Allow me to leave you and go on my way. I will trouble you no longer.
Not even an apology. That won't do at all.
What's going on? Okay, that was a security officer. Why isn't he getting involved in this? Like, looks like people threatening someone else. What's going on here?
This Sulluston here had a few things to say about us that we didn't take to so well. We're just trying to work out our differences.
I'd like to hear his side of the story. Or how do you plan on doing that? Or, easy enough, just teach him a lesson. Yeah, what does the Sulluston have to say? Oh, thank you. It's very simple. I was at the bar enjoying my drink when these brutes here elbowed their way up to the bar, spilling my beverage all over the two of us. Then they dragged me out here. Look at these two. I know what they want. To send me home with my limbs twisted, body battered, and spirit broken. You must help me.
This doesn't have anything to do with you, stranger. Just move right along. Have a drink in the cantina.
That sounds like a good idea to me. I won't let you lay a hand on him. I think you should leave now. I mean, don't want them to beat him up, but maybe let's just try being a little bit subtle about it. See if we can kind of diffuse the situation instead of directly you're directly threatening them. I think you should leave now. You'd probably have a better time elsewhere.
Yeah? Or what? You're gonna teach me a lesson? Go ahead. I hate your kind anyways. Keep your nose in your own business.
I don't want to fight you. Can't we talk about this? You asked for it. You're right. I'll just be leaving now. I mean, yeah, I get that, you're not... You guys think you can take on the Celestin, and maybe you think you can take on the Celestin and me, but I've also got Atten with me, and an old lady missing one hand, so, who's really in trouble if this breaks out into a fight? Can't we talk about this?
Believe me, there's nothing to talk about.
Okay. There was no harm done. Here, I'll give you the credits. Just leave him alone. Yeah, maybe if we just buy him another drink. Yeah, buy him a drink, and maybe that's all they want. Here.
You must be kidding me. 100 credits? Why don't you just run along and let us handle this?
Okay, well, I don't want to fight you.
Then you shouldn't have gotten involved.
Okay, wow, that escalated quick. I thought you were gonna beat him up or something and send him home with a black eye, not get him, not just kill everybody here. And seriously, TSF officer, they've pulled guns. Are you seriously gonna still stand there and do absolutely nothing? Can I mind trick him? Okay, got light side points. Probably for trying to help diffuse the situation instead of... Okay. This mind trick stuff seems like it's absolutely useless. Never seems to work. Okay, let's just stun him. Okay, maybe if we try the other guy, because he saved on that as well, so maybe this guy will be easier to mind trick. Or... Oh good, we mind tricked him. I don't know that helped us at all.
More where that came from. More where that came from. Let's settle this. Let's settle this.
Oh, thank you. I was completely helpless. Those mercenaries are too much. I wish something could be done about them. Yeah, not very impressed with the TSF officer's strategy of, these guys have guns, and I have a gun. Let me make sure that the innocent bystander who's just cowering, not fighting at all, is between me and my targets as we shoot at each other. I don't know. Maybe it's his first day on the force or something, but this does not seem like this guy's really competent to be guarding anything. But okay, back to the Celestin. Why are they allowed to do this? Or I assume there's some kind of reward for this? I just didn't want them to have all the fun. I think that's suggesting it would be a dark side option that, yeah, I just killed your attackers so I could kill you instead of that. Which, I mean, granted that's dark side, but I'd be more impressed at the stupidity than the evilness of that. But, so why are they allowed to do this? The TFS isn't able to do much to keep peace on the station. Zerka's hired too many mercenaries. Even Czerka can't control them. The Republic must do something about it, but it's anyone's guess as to whether or not they will. Okay, you should leave in case their friends come looking for them. I assume there's some sort of reward, or they won't. Okay, no, yeah, dude, you should get out of here, just in case. Go home. Enjoy the fact that you're alive. You speak the truth. I will stay away from this cantina until things settle down. Please accept this reward. Oh, thank you. Keep your credits. A reward is not necessary. Yeah, I'm just gonna loot these guys. Whatever stuff they've got on them will be reward enough. Thank you then. It is not often that one sees such goodness and such evil in such short a time. Such a short time. Thank you. Okay. Okay, maybe we won't be looting these guys for anything. Oh. So I wanted to see real quick the message log if it's still there. Okay, yeah, we go all the way back to terminal. I was going to see the sinister brother, what he was saying about like his brother isn't gonna. Welcome, you've made the right decision coming to me instead of my brother, Dendis. He has not quite grasped the ebb and flow of being a merchant. Okay. Nonsense, I simply have principles. That is what I was referring to. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately the sinister brother is the one who has all the good stuff, looks like. Maybe there's a reason for that. Okay, so Hara told us about Romana, a Twi'lek owned by Doten Het, who dances in the cantina. He wagered her in a Pizot game and lost and is trying to get her back. Okay, well, can we talk to this guy, give him a dressing down for how terribly he was involved?
A Republic ship was supposed to have arrived to take control of the situation here. I hope it's not too late. The problems are becoming too much for the TSF to handle.
Yeah, you couldn't even handle a little shakedown right here in front of you. Before we go into the cantina, I'm going to see if we can find the TSF office, get our stuff back, just in case we need to, just in case we need to get rough or something. Information terminal, entertainment module. So let's download the area map. And again, we're connected to other terminals if we want to quick travel. So let's see. We downloaded the map. What do we got? Okay, we're here. So that's the cantina. Okay, let's click on it to get the... Okay, so the Dobo Brothers Emporium, shuttle to residential module 082 East, cantina. Okay, this is also the cantina, so there's 2 entrances to the cantina. TSF station, and shuttle to dock module 126. Okay, so we want to go over to the TSF station, then we'll check out the cantina, and then we'll decide whether we want to go back or go to dock station. And again, we have this huge fall, no railing, droid hovering there. I think we saw those before and they had blasters on them, so probably a security droid. Okay, so Telosians, TSF officers. Okay, yep, there's a 3 and a 4. It's odd, I thought before we saw like different symbols for numbers. Now it just looks like kind of very blocky Arabic numerals, but okay, Telosian. It's over this way. That seems kind of odd. I'm trying to see if there's anything over it that we can see. But, okay, maybe not. Because remember, one of the things we are looking for is, anything about this false Batu Rem. So if there's any, like, little hidden areas that maybe we can find clues to something. Or maybe it'll just end up being, like, we end up talking to the right person. I don't know. Okay, hi, I was detained by the TSF and I want my stuff back.
Welcome to Entertainment Module 081's TSF station. How may I be of assistance?
Just told you. Okay, Lieutenant Gren said to come here to get the Ebonhawk and the rest of my possessions out of impound. Yep.
I will call up the appropriate information now. One moment. Searching. One moment. I regret to inform you that the Ebonhawk is gone. The TSF believes it was stolen and is currently investigating.
What do you mean, gone? Well, it seems pretty self-explanatory, actually. Stolen? How's that even possible? Or do you have any idea where it is? Yeah. Stolen? How is it possible that the group that let an assassin get at prisoners who were supposed to be well guarded managed to also let a shuttle get stolen? Faith in the TSF is just slipping more and more, I guess. Do you have any idea where it is?
It seems the Ebonhawk was transferred to Telos' surface instead of an impound dock. However, Both the requester and the point of delivery are unknown. In addition, the vessel is not showing up at any government-sanctioned landing site. I would conjecture that it has been stolen, and the TSF records have been illegally accessed and modified.
I knew it! That stupid T3 unit stole our ship. It's probably joyriding through the system right now, laughing at us, laughing at me.
That is unlikely. While your utility door is not accounted for, numerous satellites track all incoming and outgoing vessels. There is no record of the Ebon Hawk leaving the system.
Wait, you're saying the ship's actually somewhere on Telos' surface?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Try to keep up, Atten.
Telos' atmosphere is highly corrosive outside the shielded restoration zones. Where else could someone land safely?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid that's all the information I have for you. Of course, the quarters and residential module OA2 will remain yours until the situation is resolved.
I like that we hear that our ship has been stolen, and Atten's first response is, it must have been the droid that stole it, and is laughing at him personally while just joyriding for no apparent reason. And actually, I kind of hope that that's true, just because the thought of T3 just taking the ship out to have fun, imagining how upset it will make Atten is actually kind of funny. So, was there anything in the system about our ship? It sounds like we just asked that. Can I get my possessions back at least? Or what am I supposed to do now? Isn't there anything more the TSF can do? Or how about I wait here until you get me another ship before someone gets hurt? Yeah, can we at least get the rest of our possessions? Hopefully you didn't store them on the ship or something.
Fortunately, your possessions were kept in the armory and were uncompromised. I will open the door for you so that you may retrieve them. You will find them in the security lockers.
Okay, good. So yeah, what am I supposed to do now? Do you have any suggestions?
I am not qualified to answer that question. However, it is unlikely that someone could steal a starship from under TSF observation without considerable backing. If your vessel has been stolen, there is a fair chance that the exchange possesses relevant information. I do not know what else to suggest, beyond waiting in your quarters for further word.
Are you seriously telling me, hey, go to the exchange, they might be able to help you out? The official security forces can't, but yeah, go to the organized crime unit. Not organized crime unit, the organized crime organization. They might be able to do something for you. Okay, so tell me about the exchange.
The exchange is a major intergalactic crime syndicate. They are trying to gain a foothold in the Citadel, most likely seeking to integrate themselves as fully as possible with the new Telos. It is rumored that the Bumani Exchange Corporation, located in residential module OA2, is a front for the exchange on Citadel Station.
No. The place that has an exchange thug waiting outside and has exchange in the name is part of the exchange? No way. Okay, is there anything else the TSF can do?
Not beyond investigating the matter and extending our offer of free room and board.
Okay, well, I guess we'll be going then. So, yeah, it sounds like he was like, yep, nothing we can do. Go to the crime syndicate. I have no idea if all of these are ours or if it's just like we're gonna loot all these lockers in addition to taking our stuff, but that's, again, they should have locked it up if they didn't want us taking it. So blaster rifle and some accuracy gloves. ESF detainee locker. This is looking like our stuff. Yep. Detainee locker. Okay, yeah, at least these two lockers are... Okay, yep, these are the detainee lockers. This is our stuff. This is just like some other weapons locker, I guess. Some of the TSF supplies that we're just taking with us. Okay, yep, Progress Depot survey, spacesuit. That's also our stuff. And that's our stuff. also our stuff. Man, we have a lot of stuff, don't we? And we'll take a computer spike and some chemicals as well. What's back here? Oh, is this where we were? Yeah, this is where we were held. Oh, maybe we can find some information about the fake guy here. Hello, Lieutenant Gren. I am investigating the fake guy who tried to assassinate us and the disappearance of my ship because I fear that I will be far more competent at it than you and the TSF have been so far.
Something I can help you with?
Okay, apparently I can't ask about any of my ongoing investigations. You are not authorized to know about my ongoing investigations, sir. So, how will you recover from the destruction of the Progress mining facility? Or do you have any work I could do? Okay, let's ask about Progress. What do you have to say about that?
To be honest with you, I just don't know. We desperately rely on the fuel to keep Citadel Station running. If we can't find a new fuel source soon, we'll be in bad shape.
How bad?
There's enough fuel in the reserves to keep Citadel Station from falling out of orbit, and for managing the restoration project, but not much more than that.
Can't the Republic increase funding for the station? Or is there anything more that can be done? Yeah, can the Republic just throw money at the problem?
If only it were that easy. The Republic's tight on credits right now, still recovering from the war. They're sparing all they can, but it's not enough. We relied almost completely on Paragus for our fuel. It's hard to make up for a planet's worth of fuel exports.
Okay, is there anything that can be done?
Absolutely. We need to find a new fuel service, sign contracts, make agreements. A soldier like me is not good at that sort of thing.
Okay. If I can help, I'd like to. I'll keep my eyes out if there's some sort of finder's fee. Doesn't sound like my sort of thing either. No, totally. If I happen to run across somebody who, is looking to sell a planet's worth of fuel, I will definitely point them your way. Well, I mean, Citadel Station's way. Like you said, you're probably not the person to talk to. You're probably not the one in charge of the logistics of it, but...
You? You've got enough trouble, I think. And this is all your fault anyway.
Well, that was kind of a bit of a 180 there. You still think I'm to blame?
Look, it doesn't matter what I think. But sure, if you find someone with a load of fuel in their hand they'd like to sell to us, let me know. I'll be waiting.
Okay. Alright, now let's...
Something I can help you with?
No, I'm trying to get to your terminal. I guess while I'm talking to you, do you have any work I could do besides, finding a fuel contract?
Would you be interested in helping us by bringing in some bounties?
Tell me about the bounties. Or I'm not a bounty hunter. Well, I mean, if it's... Yeah, tell me about the bounties. If it seems like it's, we're actually getting rid of criminals and, helping arrest folks who've, actually done wrong, then I'd be up for it. If it's like we're going to go have some, like, state-organized, state-sponsored shakedowns or something, then probably won't be interested. Tell me about the bounties.
This isn't a bounty, so to speak. But we're looking for a man named Batono who's been missing for some time. Also, 2 ruthless killers that we'd managed to capture and hold here in the TSF station escaped and are currently at large. We're also looking for any information about the imposter Batu Rem.
Okay. Tell me about Batono.
Batono is the overseer of dock operations for Czerka and was assisting us in uncovering the elusive black market smuggling operation that appears to be operating at a Citadel Station. A few weeks ago, he suddenly disappeared and hasn't been heard from since.
If you're looking for a black market smuggling ring, have you tried asking with the exchange? I hear that they are operating on the station and are probably the best people to go to for information that the TSF doesn't know. Why do you need my help? This sounds like something the TSF should investigate. Do you have any leads? Well, on the one hand, it does seem like a fair point that the TSF should be investigating. On the other hand, one, we asked if there was any way we could help. He's just saying, hey, this is something we're working on, but you could help out if you want. Two, we've been dealing with the TSF for a little while now, and so we know that them having the responsibility to investigate something doesn't mean they're going to do a very good job of it. So they really do need all the help I was going to say all the help they can get and all the help I can give them. Either way. So, do you have any leads?
Not much, other than what I've already told you, and the fact he was investigating Docking Bay 3. I spoke with some Czerka guards near the docking bay, but they didn't seem like they wanted to cooperate with a TSF officer. Maybe you'll have more luck.
Yeah, I'll see what I can dig up, or I think I'd rather not get involved. Yeah, we'll try to dig up some stuff.
Thank you. Keep me updated.
Okay, what about the other bounties?
What is it?
What about these two criminals?
They were spotted by security cameras in the docking area, and we quickly moved in to apprehend them. We captured them shortly after you were placed under house arrest. Some sort of electrical malfunction, a side effect of the false Batu Rem's attack, enabled them to escape. They overpowered their guards and escaped into the Citadel.
Okay, what do you know about the criminals? Or do you think someone was behind their escape? Or I'd like to talk to you about another bounty. Okay, let's start with what do you know about the criminals?
There are two of them, a Rhodian and a Deveronian. They're well armed and obviously extremely dangerous. They haven't left the station as far as we know.
Okay, so if we see any Rhodians or Deveronians shoot on sight? Probably not. We'd probably wait till we find one who actually has a name or who's named like Criminal Rhodian or something. So I'll see what I can dig up.
All right, just be careful. We've already lost 2 good officers to them.
They were the only 2 good officers we had. The rest of us are absolutely useless. So, how about another bounty?
What is it?
What about this Batu Rem?
You mean the assassin who tried to kill you, right? The real Batu Rem's one of us, and he's off the station on leave. I hope Batu's okay, though I'm expecting the worst. Shame. He was a good kid.
Just write him off as dead already. Is there any way to find out about the killer's movements on the station? Or are you sure that wasn't the real Batu Rem? I mean, I'm guessing it wasn't the real Batu Rem just because I think they came up with the idea that it's an imposter because one of the guys was like, hey, that's not Batu Rem. Who is that? So yeah, any way to find out about the killer's movements?
Yes, we looked into it and found that he arrived via a tramp freighter in Docking Bay 3. Unfortunately, the cargo and passenger manifest as well as departure location was not disclosed to us. That's all the information I have for you.
Okay, I'll see what I can dig up.
If you find anything about the real Batu Rem, we'd like to know if he's safe.
Okay, I'll be going now. I think that was all the bounties. Alright, let's get some equipment equipped. So yeah, right now we just have clothing. We can wear a miner's uniform that give us some defense, slight defense bonus and some cold and fire resistance, but otherwise won't be useful. Light combat suit is going to restrict our force abilities, so I think we will go back and buy those those Jedi robes, or not Jedi robes, but like the acolyte or initiate robes or whatever they were. So okay, but I don't. Well, now let's make sure we're wearing some clothing. Okay, reflex package that gives bonus to reflex saves. Implant boost the regular energy. Okay, we've read that. Or pheromone package, persuade +1, charisma +1. We like to talk our way out of situations. Let's go with pheromone package. Okay. Survey gear, resistance versus sonic, and more awareness. Immunity poison. Wisdom +1, Rakatan band. Have we seen this before? Okay, the spacer's sensor. So this simple device improves the wearer's ability to perceive the reality of their surroundings. The origin behind the item's name is unknown, but rumor has it that these bands were constructed as a defense against an ancient species of alien deceivers who made absurd claims of dominance concerning their role in the galaxy. It is said this species of lying primitives went so far as to take credit for almost every major event in galactic history since the discovery of the hyperdrive. Okay, so the Rakatan, or Rakatan, or however the emphasis goes on that, was the group that we encountered at the very end of the last game, who had the massive empire that then succumbed to a plague, and so they were driven back to their home planet and forced to live in underground bunkers or something, hiding from the plague. And then as the groups came out, they pretty much lost all of their technology and just grown to fighting each other for dominance, except for the one group that seemed to have some technology but had decided it was too dangerous, and so they focused on just protecting it from all the others who would want to try to take it and destroy everybody and reconquer everything. So what this seems to suggest, either the whole claim of a massive empire was itself just a lie, which seems unlikely given that we saw the Starforge that was a remnant of that empire and was very much still functional and perfectly capable of making an army that could, span a huge number of systems. Or sometime after the collapse of the empire, some of the Rakatan traveled the galaxy, made it out, and interacted with others and ended up talking about their empire, which had by that point been forgotten, so everybody just thought that they were making up ridiculous stories. Which I guess we did see on board, or when we were on the planet, there were all those crashed starships. So there have been other ships have arrived there. Maybe someone else, like we did, was able to fix their ship and get it to take off again. Maybe taking some primitives, it's the Rakatan. Most of them seem pretty primitive, but others are still seem to be as advanced as anyone else. So took some of the Rakatan with them and I guess spread those stories, or else they didn't take any Rakatan with them, but they had interacted with the Rakatan and heard some stories or something. Yeah, so let's see. Let's go with that just because it has wisdom +1. We are doing more wisdom, so that's good. Go with the Gamorrean gauntlets. Someday we'll be able to upgrade them to better unarmed gloves, but for now, these are still our best bet. Do any of these have just a... Yeah, these are all our various shields and armbands. We have an armband that just gives us Constitution +1. This band belonged to JJ49, who was exiled from the Jedi Order following the Mandalorian Wars. Not a huge boost, but I guess somewhat helpful. We'll go with an Arcanian energy shield that protects against a whole bunch of stuff. Even 2,000 years after the designs were pioneered, Arcanian technology remains desirable. When equipped and activated, this forearm shield protects against a variety of combat conditions, though it must be replaced often due to burnout. This is one thing I've always found kind of interesting in the Star Wars universe, is saying this design was pioneered 2,000 years ago, and it's still being used today. Presumably, not. It says this is the design that was 2,000 years ago. presumably that's not not much has changed. Like this could be, exact same thing. And in today's perspectives, or like in our perspective, that would be using designs of something made during, the Roman Empire, which there are some things that existed in the Roman Empire that we still use somewhat today. I think I've actually seen. I think I actually saw a documentary about medical practices, and they showed like some dental tools that would not have looked out of place in a dentist's office today. Being able to get at parts of the teeth and bent the right way and everything. But in general, especially you think of like weaponry and stuff, even just like armors and swords and shields developed quite a bit in the probably within the Roman Empire, and then certainly in the centuries afterwards, up until they were mostly phased out. So, but in the Star Wars universe, it's like, yeah, we have these energy shields, and people still use them 2,000 years later, which also seems to fit with this entire game being like 3,000 years, I think, before the events of the movies, and there's a lot of stuff that looks familiar. A lot of the spaceships, it's a slightly different design, but it still looks very similar to the spaceships that we see then. We see a lot of a lot of the capabilities in blasters and droids and things are very similar. And I guess especially for those of us living in the grew up in the late 20th and now in the early 21st century, where technology is constantly changing. You look at technology from 5 years ago, and it's looks very different from technology today, or we constantly improving, constantly getting much better. It's odd to think of a society that goes for like thousands of years with seemingly only small incremental changes in technology. So, but I don't know. I don't know if that's meant to be maybe well, it's also particularly odd because I was going to say maybe it's it's just getting to like this point where it's stagnating or something, but they've just gone through multiple wars, and we know from experience that wars tend to tend to promote technology development, because you're trying to get an advantage over your opponent. A lot of our technology was developed. We had a lot of developments in World War One, a lot of developments in World War Two, then the Cold War and the space race. Huge number of technological advances trying to get the jump up on our opponents. So it seems odd that we've gone through the Sith Jedi Wars, we've gone through the Mandalorian Wars before that, and we have history of wars before that, and technology just kind of stays the same. Okay, well, all that to say, we'll take the Arcanian energy shield. Okay. Let's go with the defense bonus. And normally we don't need a weapon because we're going with unarmed, but we'll have this to help us open things easier. Okay, so let's see. Here we have Atton's ribbed jacket. So he gets a nice jacket. Atton's durable jacket provides protection comparable to light armor. Yeah, defense bonus 4. So that's nice. And a bunch of saving throws plus 2. Okay, so that's definitely what you want. I forget what skills what kind of a build we were going for you. Okay, close combat. Okay, weapon focus, blaster pistol, I guess we hadn't decided if he was going to dual wield or go with a single shot, so. Whether it's a survival instinct or sheer resolve, Atten won't give up. When knocked unconscious, there's a chance he'll get back up ready for more action, provided someone else in the party is still standing. If he returns to the fight, he will come back with 10% of his vitality restored. Okay, and now he'll come back with 20% of his vitality restored. The tougher the situation, the more Atten's survival instinct kicks in. Whenever Atten is knocked below 50% of his vitality points, he gets bonuses to all saving throws. These bonuses increase as he approaches 0 vitality. Okay. So he can still get knocked out, but he can keep coming back, I guess. Okay, we have mining laser. It's not upgradable, or we have mining laser that's slightly better and upgradable, and we'll use that for now. Let's go ahead and give you increased reflexes, just to have something. Give you an energy shield and a melee shield. Even more reflexes. You don't really need these, but having dexterity +1 might help, so. And we'll go with insulated gloves. Let's go ahead and have you dual wield. Dual wielding's kind of fun. It's not usually very practical in real life, especially if you have weapons with a decent fire rate that you can easily, swap in, a new magazine or something. But in video games and stuff, it can be kind of fun. Okay, I think she was also going to be unarmed, at least until we get a lightsaber for her. We'll give you... What are your stats? Strength 11? Okay, so if we increase your strength by 1, then you... Oh no, that's strength 11 if you already have strength +1. So, okay, that's not really going to help then. Let's just give you fortitude +2 then. Also give you an energy shield and a melee shield. Survey gear, resist some sonic damage, sure. Reflex package, better reflexes. And it really doesn't help you at all, so probably sell those, get a little bit of cash. And we could give you the mining uniform, but I think we'll just go ahead and go buy the Okay, so none of us look any different, but we should be considerably, well, I mean, we have headgear now. But we should be considerably more formidable in combat, and even more so once we get this armor, then we can go check out the cantina. I mean, it is kind of cool. Well, so this part of the station, I do like that it has these large floor-to-ceiling windows. So as we're running through, we just get a sense that there's so much more to the world beyond the little bit that we're in. I guess the large open areas that you could easily fall to your death contribute to that as well, although they just make considerably less sense. I'm actually curious whether we can fall off here or whether there's an invisible wall. Let's try it. Nope. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that's just a gameplay thing, but maybe we can imagine that there is some kind of invisible barrier, and that's a real safety precaution that was installed to make sure that people don't accidentally fall to their deaths. Okay, I want to try to remove the upgrade from the miner uniform. Okay. So let's... It is nice that we can remove upgrades from items, so that we can... means that there's really no reason not to upgrade our items if we can, because, I mean, when we improve to newer items, we can always just swap the upgrades out. Welcome back. How may Samhan Dobo assist you? Let me shop, please. Do we want to be more persuasive or a little bit better fortified? I think for our main character who, you know, can actually persuade in combat, or not persuade in combat, but persuade in dialogue options and things, I think we'll choose the Jalshay Neophyte armor. For Kreia, who, you know, doesn't really need to be more persuasive, we'll go with a slightly higher defense bonus. So let's get this. Yes, more than 400 credits, we'll still buy it. One of these. Okay. Let's see, what can we sell? We don't want to sell any of like our antidotes and med packs and computer spy. That's all useful stuff. Clothing, sell it for 0. I guess just get it out of our inventory. Miner uniform, that's stuff we just bought. We don't want to sell that. Okay, light armor, Sinagar warsuit. After the Great Hyperspace War 1,000 years ago, the heirs of Empress Tita militarized their world and industry, a legacy that produced battle armor still sought after today. Okay, 412. We'll go ahead and sell that. Yep. Guidon beacon. Use melee. Miners use these beacons to stake claims on asteroids. It can double as a battle staff, and the anchoring pike on the tip can be used to slash opponents. Okay, we'll get... Oh, it's also 0. Okay, swords, vibro cutter. I guess if something has no value, there's really no point in selling it, but gets it out of our inventory. But yeah, interesting. There's 2 different types of mining lasers we've encountered. This one does 1 to 7 energy damage and is not upgradable. This one does 1 to 8 energy damage and is upgradable. Everything else appears to be the exact same. The one that does more damage and is upgradable has 0 value. The one that does less damage and it is not upgradable has 8 value. That doesn't make much sense to me, I have to be honest. Okay, and then the heavy mining lasers that can do considerably more damage are also no value. And again, advanced mining laser that does less damage and is not upgradable has... Okay, are you sure you're the merchant who has a better understanding of how things work? Because I don't think you have a great understanding of how things work. Okay, yep, get rid of our accuracy gloves. Oh wow, these mining shields are worth quite a bit. Yeah, don't need protection against energy and electrical damage or all sorts of melee damage, but you can do a little bit of damage against heat. Yeah, we'll take that. And the value does not go down if we've used them up most of the time, so that might be good to keep in mind. Just use stuff until we have 1 use left, and then sell it. Okay, safety harness. Okay, strength enhancer. Yeah, we can get rid of those. Stealth field generator. Yeah, we'll go ahead and... Okay, data pads. I'm not get rid of data pads. Adrenals, might need those. Sonic mines. We use mines occasionally. Oh, we can get rid of broken items. we use mines occasionally, but they're actually worth quite a bit and might be worth just selling instead. Especially this early on. Let's go ahead and do that. Maybe I'll regret it later when we encounter an enemy that we can't beat, but... Oh, okay, yeah, we don't need too many droid deflectors. We'll keep that one. Let's go ahead and... almost never use these, so... Wow, 1086. Yep. This was the Ion Blast. The Scrambler was developed by Artec and marketed towards customers who were faced with massive droid armies. Sending a pulse of highly charged ions, this weapon destroys the electronics of enemy droids. Okay. Ion Striker, considerably less. And a Neural Pacifier. Yeah, because we want to sell a bit because eventually I would like to try to see if we can afford those much nicer gauntlets before we leave, but if not, then we don't. So okay, so we'll get the Jal Shay Neophyte armor, and oh, she can't wear this. She can't wear light armor. Oh well. Okay, yeah, we have... Okay, I thought armor proficiency light was pretty much standard for everybody, but I guess Kreia doesn't, so if we want to upgrade her defenses, we need to get actual Jedi robes or something. Okay. Which is too bad, because, man, look how cool it looks with this armor. Yeah, I would like to return this... suit. No, that's buyless. I want to sell. I guess I walked 3 steps with it, so it's already gone down in value considerably. But all right, let's wait a second. Why? Upgrade item. Why is this the only thing we can upgrade? I thought maybe I thought we would be able to upgrade Atton's blasters at least. Maybe Atton has to interact with it for that. Okay, so we'll get damage immunity 10 versus Sonic. The sound dampening overlay, alloy overlays, and then I guess we have an underlay. So we can either get a bunch of damage, resistance, and immunity versus cold and fire, or we can get regeneration +2. I think regeneration sounds more useful. We can basically constantly regenerate some defense or some vitality points. Okay, add and see if you can upgrade with this. No? Okay. Maybe those things can't be upgraded. Alright, maybe his armor can't be upgraded, or at least not with anything we've got. Can we create... What can we create with all of our stuff that we have? Oh, we can create weapons. Including blaster rifle. Unfortunately, the best pistols that we can upgrade are still not as good as the upgrades we have. Okay, I see. Fully upgradable means that we can upgrade everything, as opposed to not saying anything, I guess, is the same as saying that it can't be upgraded. That's other. Oh, okay. When it says create ranged, that's ranged upgrades, not ranged weapons. Okay, and we can create armor upgrades, melee upgrades, lightsaber upgrades, and other. Okay, and this is what we can do with all the stuff that has no value. We can break it down, even if it doesn't have too many. Can break. It's not worth too much, but we can make a few more components that we might be able to use later to make some better stuff. Everything's relatively low amounts, but okay. So, all right. Well, at least we're a little better protected. Let's go check out the canteen. Wow, TSF not only didn't help with the fight, they haven't even they're not gonna remove the bodies. They're not gonna cordon the area off because we're gonna investigate or anything. Because how much investigation do you really need when the guy was standing there watching the whole thing happen? But really, really not impressed with this security force. Okay. So this is the canteen. What's on the? Okay, we have some swoop racing. We did some of that last game. Interesting how they have this big boxy device that it's almost looks like it's a CRT TV or something when we can see these little flat panels seem to exist, but maybe they're still cheaper or something. Alright, so Race Master. Oh, I guess... Oh, we might actually be able to race here. Okay, don't want to do that at the moment, but maybe we'll try that out eventually. You had a name. Mebladul?
Hey there! Care for a game of Pizzac?
Let's play. Do you have any cards I could buy? I wanted to ask you some questions, perhaps later. Yeah, I don't think I have any cards with me. Oh, I do... No, okay, in stock is in the store stock, in inventory is mine. So, yeah, we don't have any Pizzac cards. We don't need to be playing Pizzac at the moment. Okay, regular Telosian, couple... Hey, here's a named Rhodian. We were told to look for a Rhodian. I don't see a Deveronian anywhere. But let's... Oh, there's a Deveronian. Hey, are you that Rhodian
so
criminal?
You must be the Jedi everyone's been whispering about. No more trouble with the TSF, I hope?
Can I help you? I'm no Jedi. Or you should keep out of matters that don't concern you. Yeah. Do we know each other? Is there any particular reason you're talking? Can I help you?
Perhaps you don't know who I am?
Can't say that I do. Someone with an inflated view of himself? Alright, you seem to be of the opinion that I care. No, can't say that I do. Hi, I'm JJ48, and you are?
You haven't been on Citadel Station long, have you? Let me introduce myself. I'm Benok, the man in charge of Lopak Slusk's protection. You do know who Lopak Slusk is, don't you? The two gentlemen with me are Matu and Nahata, Slusk's finest men, other than me, of course.
Oh, leave the man alone, Benok. I bet he'd come out on top if you fought.
Now, Luxa, I meant no disrespect. You're probably Slusk's strongest woman.
It's your skin, Benok. Just warning you, Slusk could easily replace you.
Okay. It's interesting. He seems to know who I am. It's like, oh, you're the Jedi everybody's been talking about, which presumably also means he has some idea of yeah, you just recently arrived on the station because that's when everybody started talking with you, and you've been having trouble with the TSF, and we know all this stuff about you. But what? You don't know everything? You must not have been on this station very long. So I'm guessing Benok isn't the smartest of Slusk's cronies, but let's see. I don't want any trouble. Or she's right. Mess with me and you're dead. No, we don't want any trouble. I don't know why you're approaching us, but if you're just trying to tell us, not to mess with you, totally not planning to unless there's like a quest to do it, or we happen to wander into Slusk's territory and find out that, like, oh hey, there's cool stuff we can loot or something. But other than that, yeah, don't want any trouble.
And I doubt you could cause any. Trading jabs with Luxa is hardly the entertainment I was looking for. Let's go.
Wow, that was a pointless conversation. Okay, so he went with the two, like, Tresk's best men other than himself, whereas Luxa, I'm guessing, is hanging out with these two Gamorrean bodyguards.
Hello there. Fresh blood at the cantina. Enjoy. Your drinks are on me. We should talk later.
Okay. Who are you? I'll be going now. Yeah, it seems like that exchange was mostly, you know, between her and the other guy, you know, just trading barbs. But you know, who are you? Why is this whole thing happening?
If you're asking me that, handsome, you're better off not knowing. Tell you what, you just enjoy yourself, and if in the future we have business together, you can come back and we'll have a little chat.
Okay, I'll be going now.
Welcome to the Entertainment Module 081 Cantina. How can I assist you?
Yeah, the lady said you had some. She was buying drinks, so I guess I was expecting to be able to buy drinks or pick up some drinks here. But what sort of entertainment do you have here?
We feature Citadel Station's most talented all-bith band around the clock, as well as live Twi'lek dancers. You won't find any holograms here. Casual Pazak players should be able to find a friendly match in the game room, or if you're a bit more seasoned, we have daily tournaments with some of the best players in the Outer Rim. Cards too slow for you? Try your hand at Citadel Station's swoop track.
He's got a whole pitch ready for us.
Challenge the all-time records. Last but not least, we feature only the finest cuisine and beverages from Ryloth to Coruscant.
Okay, I'll be going now.
I don't understand your problem with the Republic. It's not like Onderon hasn't benefited from joining.
It was one of the darkest days in our history. Talia sold Onderon to the Republic, and what did we receive in return? Nothing. In exchange for the blood of our soldiers, the prosperity of Iziz has been stripped to decorate dead planets like this.
Look, if it weren't for the Republic, you'd all be speaking Mandalorian by now.
And because we accepted the Republic's aid, we should be indentured to them forever?
You make it sound like the Republic turned Onderon into a prison colony.
Perhaps. Only that the Republic did not even conquer us. Our own betrayed us and allowed the Republic to take what it would.
Okay. Onderon soldier and a Republic soldier.
Czerka's mercenaries are getting out of hand, and they're too much for the TSF to handle. We need Republic troops to restore order.
Slosian. So, it's saying like, oh yeah, we have a band and we have live dancers instead of holograms. If that's their dancing ability, I'm not sure that you're really better off not going with the holograms, honestly. Hey, you're a Deveronian. Are you the criminal we're looking for?
Czerka's mercenaries are getting out of hand, and they're too much for the TSF to handle. We need Republic troops to restore order.
Excuse me, sir. Do you realize that you have the exact same voice as this other gentleman over here? That is particularly fascinating for two people who aren't even of the same species. Again, the band is just generic musicians and dancers. Nobody to talk to, which I guess makes sense. You wouldn't really talk to a band during while they're performing anyway. So Corin Fault, and then this was Doten Het. Isn't he the one that we need to talk to about the guy's girlfriend?
Is there something I can do for you?
What can you tell me about Czerka? Or what do you do at Czerka? Yeah, you're wearing a Czerka uniform, so I just assume that I can just come up and ask you questions about Czerka.
What's there to say?
We're the only corporation with a branch on Citadel Station. Getting in early, as they say. If this whole Telos thing pans out, we could be in a great position. If Lorso doesn't screw it up, that is.
Telos thing? You mean the planet restoration? Or tell me about Lorso. How are we going now? Telos thing. So I guess the Exchange isn't considered a corporation because they're also here, but I guess they're getting in on the ground floor of, or you know, of the crime here, not the business part. So yeah, what do you mean, the planet restoration?
Yeah, it's a long shot considering the state of the Republic these days. Still, if it works out, the Republic may decide to start restoring other war-torn worlds. At least, that's what Czerka hopes. If we can integrate ourselves into the process, Czerka stands to make a tidy profit in the future.
How does Czerka profit from the restoration project? Or actually, let's finish this before we talk about Lorso.
Quite a few ways. As part of the Republic contract rewarded for a planet like Telos, Czerka is allowed to use the planet's natural resources to help fund and support the project. On top of that, the Senate's easy to negotiate with. They're liberal with the amounts of credits they throw around, even with the Republic being in the shape it's in. And of course, new planets mean new markets for Czerka products. All in all, a very good arrangement for us.
Okay, now tell me about Lorso.
Yeah, Jana Lorso. That woman's a... look, forget it. She's my superior, and that's that. She'll screw up soon enough, then I'll move in for the kill.
How do you think she'll mess up? Sounds like you're a little jealous. I'll be going now. How do you think she'll mess up?
She's got her hands in too many dirty little... whoa, I think I've had a few too many drinks. I shouldn't be talking to you about this stuff. Just forget it.
Okay, I guess I'll be going now. So apparently Czerka is set up the same way that the Sith are, that you have master and apprentice, and inevitably the apprentice will someday betray the master. Wonderful sight, isn't it? The best of my dancers, and the best I've seen in many years. Okay. Who are you? Or I've come on behalf of Hara. I mean, we know who he is because we saw the name above his head, but let's pretend that we don't for the sake of being polite. Who are you? I am Doton Het, an entrepreneurial businessman here on Citadel Station. I deal in odds and ends, stuff that Czerka and the Dobo brothers have no interest in. Odds and ends? Can I look at your inventory? Yeah, what kind of odds and ends are we talking about? Indeed. I run a loose business, and my stock changes from day to day. Okay. Could I look at your inventory? Nothing quite so plebeian as that. I believe Samhan or Dendis Dobo would be more than willing to do business with you. Oh. Okay, so you don't, like, keep an inventory. You're just like, oh, I get some stuff and then I know who to sell it to kind of thing. Or like a more of a broker or something, I guess. I don't know. Okay, let's talk about Hara. That one? Ah, it must be about Romana then. Fine, give me your proposal. How much do you want for her? Give me the girl or I kill you. Is there something you want in exchange? Yeah, maybe, 2,000 credits is a bit. What? Is there something else you want? Because you like odds and ends and things? Is this going to be like find something to trade? I am a man of many possessions. In inanimate objects, they bring me little joy. But to see the beauty of a dance is a rare treat. Credits, if it must be. The currency of the Republic is such a mundane way for businessmen to arrange their deals. But if that is the only way, I would accept no less than 2,000 credits for her. Okay. Can we... How about you wager her on a game of Pazak? Yeah, you won her in a game of Pazak. Would you be willing to trade it? Yeah, I'm not that confident in my Pazak abilities. Unless, I wonder, maybe the whole thing with Pazak is maybe we could like prove that he's cheating and end up, taking him out or something. But let's see if we can bargain down a little bit. That's a high price. Perhaps 1,500 would be more within reason. If it's not 2,000, then we have no deal. Okay, well, here's 2,000. Very well. I'm sad to see her go, but it's true that it is always best to avoid becoming attached to anything in my line of work. Our business is completed, and I would ask you to depart from here now. But do not hesitate to call upon me if you should have a further exchange. Romana, your period of servitude to me is finished. Your ownership is transferred to this human. Well, I see. In that case, I humbly submit to your wishes. Now, I'm taking you back to Hara, or stay here. I'll collect your earnings later. Oh, so we could just like leave her here and be like, okay, you're still a dancer. It's just now you're giving your credits to me. No, we're going back to Hara. Your boyfriend will be all like happy to see you. Now, you might not be happy to see him, and that's understandable. And if that's the case, then we'll force you to stay with him. But we should at least go back and like work things out and discuss it. So, taking you back. Hara, even after what horror he has submitted me to? But it is not my choice, it is yours. Let's go or stay here. Hopefully we can go back and like have a chance to talk things out, and it won't be like, oh, we've made this choice, now she's stuck there, because it sounds like she doesn't want to go back. Okay, yeah. Let's talk it out, and if you don't want to stay with him, then you don't have to. But let's go for now. Romana, this can't be true. I thought I had lost you for sure. Don't sound so pleased, Hara. It's not as though you had anything to do with getting me free. Aren't you at least a little happy to see me? I couldn't care less. If he hadn't asked me to come, I would have been on the first shuttle out of here. Okay. It doesn't matter anyways, Romana. You now belong to me. You're free now, Romana. You can go with Hara. Because that's totally the situation here. Given her freedom, she would definitely want to return to this guy that she clearly despises. Not without reason. He did bet her in a Pazak game and lose her. I don't know, does that mean he owned her before, or was that just like because he made the bet, it was just like forced on her or something? Maybe I don't know. Doesn't sound like a great situation. Let's see. Let's see, which one do we want to do? Yeah, you're free now. You can totally go with him. But I guess I'm gonna guess what's gonna happen is we'll say this, and then she's gonna be like, "Yeah, I don't want to," and we'll be like, "Oh, okay. Well, you're free. You can also do whatever you want then." That's what I'm hoping we go with, at least. You're free. I have no desire to go with him. He means nothing to me. Okay. Then you can do whatever you wish. Okay, see, it's working. It's working out well. Okay. Then you can do whatever you wish. Or you can go with Hara, or I will sell you to slavers on Nalhutta. Or you can go, but you'll have to pay me. No, we brought you back because Hara asked us to, and we thought maybe you might be able to patch things up. But yeah, totally. If you don't want to stick with Hara, I'm not going to force you. Do whatever you want. Thank you. You've given me a new life, and that I am thankful for. Do you... No, Romana, don't leave, please. I don't know whether to thank you or to strike you. I guess we'll just leave it at that. Okay, do I get a reward or something? Okay, no. Okay, well. mean, dude, you really can't fault her for, like, you bet her in a card game and lost her. That's... I wonder, can you get in here now? I'm wondering if maybe there's 2 locked apartments, because maybe that's where, like, the 2 criminals are hiding. But we still can't get into either of them.
I hear you. Damn thing's stuck.
Okay. Here, let me try this. There we go. Well, that was disappointing. Yeah, I was really expecting more to be in there. It's okay. I think we've actually explored most of Entertainment Module 081. I mean, they're still going from there beyond to, was it the docking module or something? But we've at least explored most of the Entertainment Module. So let's go on. Here's Czerka Corporation. I guess since they're right here, we'll go and talk to them and hear their pitch before we go talk to the Ithorians, although if it's a choice between the two, I think we're going to go with the Ithorians, but might as well hear.
Good day. I am B4D4, Administrative Assistant for Czerka Corporation's Citadel Station branch. How may I help you?
Hi, I'm here to see John Alorso. Or what can you tell me about Czerka? Yeah, let's hear about Czerka first.
Czerka Corporation has operations on many systems, providing everything from medical supplies to starship weapons systems. Here on Telos, Czerka Corporation is involved in the restoration project, which Czerka hopes will serve as a model for future operations of this nature.
Okay. I'll be going now, although I do need to talk to you again to talk to Jan Alorso. I like that we have this droid, you know, as our receptionist, so let's paint him up in company livery. That makes quite a bit of sense, actually. And it's not a bad look for him. I think the kind of black and gold really works well together.
Good day. I am B4D. How may
Yes,
I help you?
I'm aware of that. Need to speak to John Alorso?
Of course. She has been expecting you. You will find her through the door and down the hall on the right.
Okay, thank you. Through the door. That door? Presumably not, because I think that's the door we came in from. So, a little conference room or reception area. Maybe this is where when guests come in and they're waiting to speak with someone, you're like, oh, sit down here and watch a little movie about the history of our company or something like that. Or potential clients. Okay, and then down the hall. I thought he said down the hall to the left. Did he say to the right? We have mercenaries. We have utility droid. More mercenaries. Czerka employee. This is a very odd office arrangement. Like, I've seen offices that are more open, not all cubicles, but generally you have like the desks like clumped together where you'd have, like divided into 4 quadrants with a person at each one. This looks like a lecture hall. I guess maybe that's why there's not many people in here, because this is clearly for training and no training is going on at the moment. It seems odd that you would have all the training directed towards an open door rather than a wall that you might be able to use to project things, but I haven't seen it in action. I can't really fault their methods too much. Okay, here's kind of space filing cabinets, I guess. This seems a very inefficient use of space. Okay, here's John Alorso with the kneeling subjugation statues that we think we saw those kinds of things on Korriban. Not giving a great image of trustworthiness and benevolence.
I knew you'd come eventually. I'm confident that we will be able to reach a working agreement satisfactory to both you and I. But where are my manners? On behalf of Czerka Corporation, I would like to be the first to welcome you to Telos.
Okay. I have to admit, honestly, I was expecting your skin to be more green. The kind of diamond markings on her face, I believe, mark her as a Mirialan. I think is the name of the species. Very humanoid species, but they tend to get those, like, I think they're tattoos. I don't think they're birthmarks. And they tend to have their skin can range from rather brownish to very green, but I usually see them more on the greenish side. So kind of, I think her skin was a little bit green, but definitely not as green as I was expecting. But okay. You mentioned work. What sort of jobs might you have for me? Or what do you have to say about the Ithorians' complaints? I've decided to help the Ithorians. Yeah, first let's hear the job offer, but you would definitely have decided to help the Ithorians.
Our primary concern on Citadel Station is the restoration of Telos' surface. The Republic is eager to revitalize Telos as a benchmark for other such efforts in other systems. While a generous amount of credits has been budgeted to Telos, the bumbling of Chodo Habat and his Ithorians has squandered away much of these resources. For a project of this size, judicious planning and thrifty spending of resources is a necessity, something Habat fails to understand. Nonetheless, Czerka remains optimistic. There are many jobs we need assistance with. For someone with your experience, you would be well compensated.
Not a single toilet in sight. Yeah, that's haven't seen any restrooms yet, and you would think those would be up near the front, especially if you have little guest areas and things. So okay, she's talking about what she calls the Ithorian bumbling. The Ithorians, I think, described as just like, yeah, we're trying to do this rather naturally. You know, let things kind of grow naturally and cultivate it instead of just like forcing things to be what you do. So, okay, very well. What can I do? Or I'll have to think about it. Or what do you have to say about the Ithorians' complaints? Yeah, the Ithorians say you're just like coming in and you're messing stuff up because you're trying to be too heavy-handed or something. So, what do you have to say about that?
I can understand why you might be on their side, but believe me, you wouldn't be doing Telos any favors assisting those amateurs. Oh, sure, Habat's intentions are good enough, but good intentions won't restore Telos. His expensive policy of relocating biological specimens from Onderon without any planning will doom Telos in the end. I don't think Habat even realizes that at their current pace, they will run out of funding before even half of the restoration zones are up and running. Czerka plans to use some of the planet's own resources to help fund the restoration. These extra funds will greatly improve the project in the long run. Habat, on the other hand, can't see beyond his own selfish concerns.
Okay. First of all, I find it interesting that you're calling the Ithorians amateurs or amateurs when, from everything I've been hearing, this is kind of Czerka's first attempt at restoring a planet as well. You guys were kind of hoping that you can use this as a so I'm just like gesturing with my mouse and keep on probably making Atten kind of dizzy or something. But, like you guys were planning on using this whole project as a means to like get more projects. It doesn't seem like you guys are exactly experts at it as well. But what do you mean by planet's own resources?
We've discovered that the surface of Telos is covered with military facilities that were either destroyed or abandoned during the Sith attack. Salvaged raw materials from these sites can either be reprocessed and put back into service, or resold to help fund the project.
That actually makes a good amount of sense, and I guess if it is being taken from military installations that were already existing here. It's not, you don't have to like mine for it and possibly damage the the efforts going on. I think we might need to think about this and hear what the Ithorians have to say, because yes, Czerka doesn't seem to care about the planet, but they actually do seem to have a pretty good plan for how they might be able to do things. So, yeah, I'll be going now. I'm going to have to talk to them about it. What's in here? Czerka mainframe. Oh.
I hear you.
Can you do anything with that? No. Okay. Maybe that's where the restrooms are, and they keep it guarded and locked up. They say the mainframe's in there, but really that's just the restrooms because they don't want their employees spending too much time in there and being non-productive. Also, have to say, maybe we're coming in on off hours or something, but this seems like a lot of space for guests and a lot of workspaces for like 2 employees and a few mercenaries. That's... I guess we also had the guards. That's 2 more, and what's your face? So there's a couple more. Still, don't need that much space. If you're really that concerned about saving money, you could probably, actually, honestly, probably rent out a single apartment. It'd be considerably cheaper than that place. Okay, let's go to the exchange. Hello, is the exchange open today? You have no business with the exchange. Get out of here. Okay. Open that door. You're dead. I'll be going now. Okay, maybe we could find some other way to get in with the exchange. Cause I guess we... Yeah. Citadel Station uses this sort of heavy pressure door in many... What did that say? Okay. In many roles. It's virtually impregnable. Okay. Well, let's go to residential module 082 West. Maybe we'll find some other way in with the exchange. You guys probably shouldn't advertise so prominently if you don't want people coming up and asking questions. Let's download the area map. And here's the Ithorian compound. Okay, what else is over here? We have the Ithorian compound. And we have medical unit. Okay, we'll see what's in here first. Onderon diplomat.
Hello there, and greetings from Isis and Onderon.
Who are you? Why are you here? Here we go. Who are you?
I'm a diplomat from Queen Talia on Onderon. My stay was supposed to have been shorter, but the contract disputes over the restoration project have prolonged it.
Ah. Why are you here?
The Ithorians negotiated the export of flora and fauna from Onderon, but with their disagreements with Czerka, the status of our arrangement is in the air.
Okay, guess I'll be going. Okay, so the Ithorians were like, oh yeah, we need to get some flora and fauna from Onderon, and so this guy's come to facilitate this. A very similar office to Czerka's, although they put their reception desk around the corner here and don't have anyone staffing it. And oh, being a medical center, instead of a bunch of desks, they have a bunch of beds. Okay, so not really training. You don't even get like privacy curtains around the beds. I guess maybe they have some ones they can like roll out if people actually need to use them. So, okay, let's open the medical supplies container. Requires authentication. How about I slice in some authentication? Okay. I'm sure we need the med pack more than the medical facility does, so. Okay, lab station. Okay, that's right. These are kind of like workbenches, except I guess instead of creating like upgrades and weapons, we can create med packs and implants and stimulants and mines and grenades. So anything that's more like chemical based, I guess. And can't actually go through that door. Okay, so you're not even an employee here. You're just like a diplomat who I guess is staying here, or maybe medical facilities. Maybe this is like where some of the flora and fauna are being kept for some reason. But like you don't even have like, there's not even like a nurse on duty or anything. Okay, let's go check out the Ithorians. Welcome, how may I help you? Okay, Moza sent me to speak with Hodo Chabat, or I'd like to speak with your leader. What is this place? Never mind. Yeah, I was told I was expected. Ah, you are the Jedi Moza spoke of. I will open the doors for you now and inform Chodo Habat of your arrival. He will be pleased to see you. I forgot, with the Ithorians apparently need to read a little faster because, man, they speak much quicker than the Galactic Basic translation. Okay. Some nice plants and... Now, I wonder, are these growing tall like bamboo, you know, with the stalk and stuff off of it, or is this a vine that's like growing up a stake or something? I don't know, but I like these large flowers. It almost looks like somebody planted a couple of Venusaurs. Okay, and then we have cool little water feature with different tiers there. So, and I guess it doesn't seem like this is flowing enough that you would be getting like a mist off of it, so that's probably steam. Is this hot water in all these things? I guess I don't know what the Ithorian world is like. Maybe they prefer it more humid, and so they have these water features both as like a little beauty thing and, you know, nice and peaceful tranquility, but also, you know, providing some steam to make it more humid in here because that's more comfortable to them. Okay, these little standing planters that just have some hanging plants growing out of them. And then this one with the big seed thing in the middle. I don't know. Yeah, I have to say, not sure why these benches are facing away from the water feature, but overall this place does seem much nicer, and the aesthetic, you know, better use of space even than the Czerka training room that's doesn't look like it would ever actually get used. Okay, here's Moza and Chodo Habat. Okay. Oh, there's a computer. Let's talk to them first before we start going through their stuff. Ah, it gladdens me that you came. I am Chodo Habat, leader of the Ithorians here. I'm sorry to impose our troubles upon you, but I did not know where to turn until I sensed your arrival. Sensed her? You sensed my arrival? What do you want from me? But you did not see fit to visit me in person. Well, that's not fair. I mean, Czerka didn't even see fit to send anybody. At least he sent a representative. Presumably as the head of this group, he's probably pretty busy. So, Let's start with, you sensed my arrival? Yes, I am a priest of my people, an adept in the Force. I sense an echo with the Force upon your arrival. It is a subtle disturbance, unless one is actively listening to it. For it. I suspected you were one of the remaining Jedi, and hoped that you could help us. This is why I sent Moza to seek you out. Man, these things go fast. Moza said you could heal me. What did he mean? What do you want from me? Yeah, explain that, please. The echo I felt upon your arrival was not a natural thing. It spoke of a great pain, not of the body, but of the spirit. It is as if you once felt the Force flow through you, then it was torn away, brutally and quickly. The echo comes from the hollows where it once flowed through you. I once felt the Force, yes, and it is slowly returning. Perhaps, and if so, how could you help? I don't want to talk about this. What do you want from me? No, actually, I feel like I'm getting better, actually. It is a most unusual wound you carry. If you would permit me to examine you, perhaps I could restore some of what you lost.
Your speech is filled with maybes and perhaps. You are bold to make promises of healing while the world under your care burns and dies. You may be able to help, but there is always a price.
It's kind of harsh but fair. Do not mistake me. It is not our desire to see any living thing suffer, but the suffering of Telos is all that consumes us. Tell me, do you know of the problems our restoration efforts face? I'd like to hear your perspective on the matter. Or you mean trouble with Czerka, right? Yes. No, let's hear what you have to say. The Telosian government summoned my herd ship to Citadel Station and asked that we help them rebuild their broken world. We progressed for a time, but then our troubles with Czerka began. The corporation has gained great influence here, and we can do little to stop them. I fear that if Czerka continues to interfere in the restoration project, it will never be completed. Telos will remain barren and lifeless, and all our work, that of the Republic, the Telosians, and my own people, will all have been for nothing. Why would the Telosian government allow this to happen? Or what do you intend to do? How do I fit into this? Yeah, what's the government doing about it? Czerka is a powerful corporation with many lobbyists in the Senate and throughout the galaxy. Okay. What do you intend to do? Our first goal is to get the restoration project moving forward again. The Republic originally provided a droid intelligence to the Citadel Station that would help maintain the logistics of the project. It vanished some time ago. Vanished? How? Go on. Was it stolen? Yeah, what do you mean vanished? That is not known. It may have been an accident. Perhaps the droid intelligence was overtaxed by the staggering size of the project and became irrational. As happens with computers. Some among my herd suspect theft. A droid intelligence of that sophistication would fetch a high price on the black market. Others fear its disappearance as the result of sabotage by Czerka or some other organization that seeks to slow the restoration project or discredit us. But the how and why of it is irrelevant. At great expense, my herd has acquired a second, somewhat lesser droid intelligence to take its place. It will arrive at Citadel Station shortly. The Telosian government has offered a small escort, but I had hoped you might see its safe transition from the docks to here. Might you aid us in this matter? Yes, I'll see it to you safely. Or what would I get out of all this? I'll have to think about this. No, I won't help you. Yeah, I'll see it. I'll see it here safely. My thanks. I will send word to my people. They will be awaiting your arrival at Bay 2, Dock Module 126. Okay, I will return with the droid intelligence. Now, I will say, especially his answer to the question about Czerka seemed a little dodgy to me. I want to help the Ithorians, but I can't help feeling they're hiding something. I don't know. Whereas Czerka doesn't seem to be hiding anything, it's just flat out, but they are flat out saying like, yeah, we don't really care about the planet or you or anyone else, we just care about making money, and if paying you a little bit of money helps make us even more money, we're willing to do that. Okay, computer displays wildlife statistics for the restoration project. But at the same time, the Czerka lady did make some decent points about, you know, that just like trying to introduce new plants and animals to a system, without proper research and everything, could do more harm than good. So I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to see what else is going on. Vivarium. Oh, what's a Bachani plant? Okay, this looks like a shield of some kind, but the fact that it's all around the plant or not just around the plant, I guess I was first wondering if it was like, does this plant produce a shield? But then I'm guessing it's like there's a shield around the plant to protect it. This appears to be a Bachani plant, one of the many specimens that Ithorians are monitoring for the restoration project. Let's leave it alone. What does this Ithorian have to say about things? Welcome to the restoration project's vivarium. I'm guessing, I don't know, but I'm guessing vivarium, like an arium is what, like place to keep things, like aquarium and terrarium, and so vivarium would be like living things place or something. I guess that would make sense with the plants that we see here. So what do you do here? I monitor the growth of plant specimens collected here. Each of the species found on the planet's surface are represented here. It is important that we observe growth patterns in a controlled environment before large areas are transplanted. Okay, cool. I'll be going now. Yeah. I guess you guys know best, but it seems to me like, hey, we're trying to rebuild a planet's surface, and we're gonna have a place that's many, many miles by many, many miles as like our section. This little, like 10-foot by 5-foot carpet, that ought to prove that the growth that works. I guess presumably they'd probably start with the little spot here, then they go to a slightly larger area, and then they work their way up. Check status of security systems. Deactivate. No, we don't want to deactivate the security system. Oh, this is probably like if we work for Czerka, they'll ask us like, oh, go over here and sabotage the plant or something. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of here, but we're definitely not doing that. We want to. Well, unless it ends up that it seems like that ends up being the right thing to do, I guess. But yeah, I just wish we knew what the Ithorian was being kind of cagey about. Right, let's go back to the entertainment district. And see, that door was closed off. Wait a second. One of the options when speaking with the guy was asking about one of our bounties. Yeah, I wanted to do that before we get too deep into the thing. See if he has. Maybe all he'll do is say like, "You help us out with this, and I'll tell you all about it." But let's ask just in case this is. You never know with games like this if it's going to be something like, oh yeah, once you finish this mission, the dialogue options change. So we'll use our fast travel system to get back pretty quickly. Okay. My people await your arrival at Bay 2 of Dock Module 126. Okay. Do you know anything about a man named Batono? Batono. I'm sorry to admit that name is unfamiliar to me. I must admit I have little interaction with the other residents of this area, however. I thought you might know of him, given his dislike of Czerka. Or I'll be going now. Yeah, which one was Batono? I forget. But yeah, I just thought you might know something. If it is true that he was no friend of Czerka, I wish it were true that I knew of him. But alas, I do not. I am sorry I cannot be more helpful. Okay. Oh, maybe... Not Atten. Maybe Moza knows something. Forgive me, Chodo, but the human, I could feel his suffering. I did not feel it until he stood before us, but then it filled my senses. Have you ever felt such an intensity before? Only once before, the day I came to Telos and strode upon its ashen surface. It is a planet's worth of pain. I do not know how he endures. It is because he has no choice. Well, I guess Moses said that. Perhaps in helping to heal a planet, it will help him become whole again. We just... Okay, I guess talking to Moza was our cue to leave, so that they could have their conversation loudly as we walked out of the place. So, okay, yeah. Module 1, 081. Okay, so this was the other cantina entrance, right? This is just going to be the other side of the bar. Yeah. Is there someone new here?
The war has really inflated prices here in the outer
regular
rim.
Telosians.
Medical supplies are in short supply and high demand.
I didn't take medical supplies from the medical bay. I'm totally not responsible for the shortage. I hope we're not, at any rate. I guess if they're already if they already know of the shortages here, the odds are that the shortage happened before we took that single med pack, so we are not the cause of the shortage. That's good. Okay, we have a traveler. Okay, because this is the docking bay, so I guess this is essentially the waiting gate for the terminal, or the terminal for the gates or something. Much less busy than any gate last time I went to the... So, you're Habat's errand boy, hmm? Much less busy than the last time I went to the airport. There. Now, if you're done interrupting me, yes, I'm helping the Ithorians, yes. Or what's it to you? Or, no, you must have me confused for someone else. Or, no, and if there's nothing else, step aside. No, I'm helping the Ithorians. No secret. So I heard. You should consider Czerka's offer. If you return the droid to Executive Lorso, she'll pay you far better than the Ithorians. How much better? But no, it has nothing to do with money. The planet then? You don't really think the Ithorians could do better than Czerka, do you? Actually, I do, in some ways. Or at least they're not as dirty as Czerka. Or, no, and if there's nothing else, I'll be going... No, I don't think they can do better, but I'm just gonna leave. No, actually, I do. I don't think they can do it as efficiently as Czerka, but I don't think that efficiency is necessarily the best metric for looking at this. You're a fool, then. I can tell you're too thick-headed to see through the lies you've told yourself, but if you have any doubt, talk to Jada Lorso at the Czerka offices in Residential 081. Let's go. Okay, let's... Alright, so we have Ithorian right here. Let's go see what's at the other place before we do the Ithorian. Okay, so that's Docking Bay 2. This is Docking Bay 1. We have some TSF officers. Okay, airlock terminal closed.
This dock is off limits pending an ongoing TSF investigation. This dock is off limits pending an ongoing TSF investigation. Move along.
You guys twins or something? Okay, so that's that. We also, there was something we had to do in Docking Bay 3. Okay. Duros and Czerka. This is a private document owned and operated by Czerka Corporation. Unless you have business here, please move along. I'm looking for a man named Batono. Doesn't sound familiar. Your best bet is to direct your inquiry to Jana Lorso. You can find her at the Czerka offices in Residential Module 082. You don't know, but he oversaw these docks. You sure you don't know anything? Or you can tell me what you know, or I can hurt you, and then you'll tell me what you know. Yeah. Now let's go the information route first. So let's... Yeah, he oversaw the docks. How do you not know if you're a dock worker or guard or whatever who works here? How do you not know him? Look, I'm paid to guard the document, not answer your questions. Inquiries about Czerka employees should be directed to the branch's executive officer. Czerka employee? Then you do know Batano. Or it's obvious you know something. Yeah, so you do know Batano. You must be mistaken. Please, move along. Okay, well, we won't make threats at the moment. Don't I have Jedi Force Mind ability? I think I'd be able to... This would be, like, exactly the right time to use that. Affect Mind, Dominate Mind... Dominate Mind enables persuasive use of the Force. And Affect Mind enables persuasive... Yeah, so these, like, should be letting us get some more commands. I guess it's just not possible here, but you would think that this would be something as a Jedi we would just be like, you want to tell me what you know. Okay, Duros, do you know anything about Batano? Or Batono? This is Docking Bay 3. If you have no business here, please be on your way. I'd like some information about a passenger that came through here. What goes on here? I'll be going. Yeah, tell me about a passenger. I'm sorry, but I can't release that data to you. Confidentiality of travelers who come through our bay is one of our primary concerns. Your confidentiality is protecting a killer. Or, don't worry, I'll be discreet with my inquiries. The killer's dead anyways. Or you'll help me if you know what's good for you. Yeah, honestly, I can understand your reluctance because you're probably used to dealing with the TSF and those guys are absolutely useless, but I will be far better at investigating the situation. So, yeah, tell me. I'll be discreet. Please tell me. Perhaps. Even so, it will incur some expense for me to find the information you seek. How much would this expense be? Or I won't pay you a bribe. Yeah, how much of a bribe are we talking here? I believe 25 credits would be sufficient. Okay, here's your quarter. Excellent. Now, let me just bring up the passenger manifest. What was the passenger's name? Batu Rem. Okay, this is asking about Batu Rem when he presumably got on here and left. Very good, yes. Here it is. His departure destination was Nar Shaddaa. He was scheduled... Okay, that's all the information I have. In our business, the less information we gather, the less we have to give out. Our passengers are doubly protected. Okay, I'll check the log to see what it is you actually said. You didn't realize I was recording the entire thing. So, his departure destination was Nar Shaddaa. He was scheduled to return on a shuttle that has already departed. Okay. No, I meant, there we go. Okay, the CSD guards outside the Czerka docking bay pointed you towards Czerka executive Jana Lorso. Okay, for Batono. You discovered that the assassin who, disguised as Batu Rem, tried to kill you in the TSF station came to Citadel Station by way of Nar Shaddaa. Okay. So I guess it was Batu Rem went to Nar Shaddaa, and then that's where the assassin assumed his identity and then came back from Nar Shaddaa. I think that's what we're meant to gather from that. Okay, what's the information terminal here? Okay, just transit. This is our transit point to other modules. Ithorian. Greetings. Yes, Chodo Habat sent me to help deliver the replacement restoration droid. Yes, he sent word ahead of you. Please enter, they're waiting for you inside. Okay. Now, my only hesitation is... I'm assuming... Where is it? There. I'm assuming that between, like, helping the Ithorians and, like, at some point, it looks like we've thrown in our lot because we don't have the option to help Czerka anymore, so we've kind of chosen our side. I'm guessing at some point Czerka's not going to want to speak to us anymore. They may have already passed that point. But since we were told down there that we need to go speak to Czerka lady, thinking maybe we should do that before we continue this quest. Just, you know, see, this is our best chance of maybe still being able to get some information out of Czerka. Now, what might happen is she might end up trying to tell us, like, oh, sure, I'll give you that information if you help us against the Ithorians, in which case, I guess we'll be just kind of out of luck. But maybe she'll just be like, oh, yeah, we can do that if you do some other job for us or something. Hey, this is a Rhodian and a Deveronian. And they look like they might be killers. I think we may have found one of our bounties.
I will arrange transport to one of the restoration zones on the planet's surface. You will be safe from the TSF there.
That seems best. We wish to wait until things cool down before we attempt to seek passage off system.
For the services you have offered to Czerka, you will also be reimbursed. I trust that is an agreeable arrangement.
Yes, Executive Lorso, and if there's nothing else, my associate and I are eager to board the shuttle and leave the station.
Of course. I will instruct the commander to await your arrival.
Yeah, that's... I mean, they might not have been able to see us. You could see us. I'm not sure what you were still going on about. It's like, wait, you're the criminals the TSF is hunting for. Or, Lorsa, stop them. They are wanted criminals. No, I mean, I think she already knows that, considering she was like, ah, yes, this will help keep the TSF off your back. But, so we'll just have to stop them ourselves. You're the criminals the TSF is hunting. I think that's our cue to get out of here. Wait. Let's just stand here ineffectively while they run away. Okay, they're being shuttled to the restoration zone to work as security for Czerka. And we did absolutely nothing to stop them. Okay, Jana, what's your... Okay. Yeah, does the name Batono mean anything to you?
Batono? Of course. He was one of our former employees. Let me tell you something. There are far too many like him. Do-gooders who believe that because of the things Czerka must do to remain successful and profitable, we must be evil. They do not see the impracticality of their beliefs. They do not understand the realities of the galaxy. If certain funds must be paid, then Czerka will gladly pay. If competitors removed, then Czerka will do its part to forward progress. Batono could not see this. Before leaving our employ, he stole many of our records, then began to stalk our movements on the station. Harassment, but conveniently overlooked, sanctioned perhaps, by the Telosian authorities.
Yeah, how weird of him. Like he thought that just because we did evil things and don't care about morality at all, that we must be evil. So, yeah, I have to say, you're not really refuting his point very well. So he's gone missing. Do you have any idea where he might have gone? Or Gren and the TSF are looking for him. He asked me to find him. Yeah, he's gone missing. You seem like you're going to be very cooperative with this. So let's ask where he might have gone.
I'm curious, though, as to why you are looking for him.
What an odd response. My reasons are my own. Gren and the TSF are looking for him. He asked me to find him. Yeah, I don't think I want to give you more information than I have to. I'm going to keep that myself.
I see. Well, I suspect he's putting his nose into something or another. People like him can't mind their own business, always needing to pry into matters that don't concern them. I do know he spent some time in the company of the Ithorians. I assumed that was the reason for his efforts, that he thought by inventing stories of Czerka's evil, he could put Chodo Habat and his incapable assistants in charge. But if you are searching for him, and find him, there would be a reward for any information of his whereabouts.
Okay, a reward? Or so you could silence him? If I find no truth to his accusations, then perhaps I will tell you. Or I will tell you if I find him. Yeah, if it, in the extremely unlikely event that it turns out he was fabricating all of these stories about Czerka and, yeah. You know what? No, even if he's flat out lying, that's really doesn't give you grounds to just try to off him, which I'm pretty sure is what you're going to be doing if you find him. So yeah, you seriously think I'm going to tell you where he is so you can silence him?
Silence his lies and fabricated untruths. His slanderous accusations are a needless trouble atop a great many troubles this planet faces.
Okay. How would you convince him to abandon his investigation, then?
If credits are what he wants, then Czerka will pay him for an easy settlement of this situation. Otherwise, Czerka will be forced into a lengthy petition process with the Telosian Council.
Okay. I guess I now have to say, if I find no truth to his accusations, then perhaps I'll tell you. But just so long as you're planning to resolve this through legal means, not, like, stealth assassinations or anything. Well, I guess we don't technically know that stealth assassinations are illegal on Telos, but I'm assuming that's going to be a pretty standard, just like blanket law. So, yeah, if no truth, we'll tell you.
If your conscience demands it, then by all means. Just remember, a reward is waiting for you.
It's interesting with how open she is in revealing all this stuff and how much she's telling. It's like the concept that somebody might have values other than credits. It's not simply that she doesn't share those values, it's that, like, that very concept is just beyond her understanding. Like, because she just seems like, oh, well, you say that you don't want to do that. Well, we have credits. Oh, you still don't want to do it? Well, we still have credits. Like, it's like, it goes deeper than her just thinking that credits are, very useful. She's clearly, like, there's something with her that she just can't even comprehend that anybody could value anything else. Okay, let's open Bay 2 door. I'm going to assume that there's some sort of automatic process that means that if we can do this, it's not going to just open into a vacuum and suck us out into space. Okay, good. No lockers we can loot. Can't take the spacesuits, okay. We have a shuttle. Have a little overseeing office up here. Oh, we can actually get into bay control. See what's in here first. Yeah, Ithorian Bay Control. An Ithorian who's working here. So, hello, sir. You shouldn't be here. I must devote my full attention to the operation of the docking bay. Okay, I'll be going now, I guess. It seems odd that we can come in here when we're just told to leave and can't do anything else. So, okay, what's this about this droid? I do like seeing all the stars there. That's kind of a nice view.
I'm glad you're here. I'm the only man the TSF could spare, and frankly, I got a bad feeling about this.
Yes, we are all pleased to see you. Chodo Habat said that another would arrive to help us.
Excuse me, Master, but it seems we have some additional visitors.
Who are you? How did you get in here? Okay, so we have Thug, 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 and Thug. Does it ever confuse you guys to all have the same name like that?
More where that came from.
This shall not stop us for long.
Really need to get like a force ability I can use as a ranged attack is the light side. I am grateful for your assistance. That was most terrible. I wonder who could have ordered such a thing.
Master, one of the assailants was carrying this.
An assassin's tool. It is no surprise that hired killers would carry weapons such as these. Okay. I'm wondering how that little slow-moving, not very flexible droid managed to get over here and loot the bodies before we did. But okay. So we can use our awareness skill. It looks as though the blaster has been heavily modified. Or an assassin with a gun, no surprise there. Or I will show it to Lieutenant Gren. I don't know. Given what we've seen of the TSF, if we try to give evidence to Lieutenant Gren, he's just gonna like try to eat it and choke on it or something. He does not seem very competent. Yeah, it looks like this blaster's been heavily modified. Let's go with that. Interesting. I believe you're correct, though I am by no means an expert. Such modifications are illegal on Citadel Station. Lieutenant Gren should be informed so that he might conduct an investigation. I will leave it with you. But more importantly, you must take the droid back to Chodo Habat. I fear there may be more attacks if we do not see it quickly to safety. Okay, yes, I will get the droid back to the Ithorians right away. Actually, I'll be returning it to Czerka Corporation. Or we can lie. Oh, of course, I'll get him to Chodo right away. That's presumably the same as option number 2, but lying about it so the Ithorians don't realize that we betrayed them. But no, we will get the droid back to the Ithorians. Okay, can we loot any of these guys? Okay, parts and a stealth field enhancer. Okay, that seems like that might be useful. I'm surprised she doesn't have any lootable equipment because she seemed like she was kind of the leader of the group. And so I think if anybody had some loot on them, they'd be her. And why is there a floating platform that... Okay, the floating platform has rails around it, but it's also floating in the middle of this thing with gaps large enough to fall into all the way around. This is not just a safety hazard. This is flat out, we are begging accidents to happen. Okay, what's in storage? Oh. Okay, well, we don't want to bash open the locker, 'cause unlike a door, that might damage what's inside. And see if you can do anything with it.
Pure Pazak.
Okay, there's nothing in here. That was not helpful. Okay, so I thought maybe the droid would be like following us around or anything. Do we have to talk to the droid or something?
I will trust your judgment, Master. Lead the way.
Okay. Yes, follow me to the Ithorian compound. Or no, I'll be taking you to Czerka Corporation instead. No. Ithorian compound. Okay, that's what it is. We needed to... So regardless of what we told the Ithorian, we could always change our mind. Looks like... I'm gladdened by your safe return. My people sent word that of what happened at the docks. Good, good. Our computer system has been prepared for your arrival. You may begin transferring your data into it immediately.
I shall do so now, Master Habak. Farewell, and farewell to you as well.
I am grateful for your help in this matter. Please accept this as a gift from my people. Okay. I found this blaster on one of the assailants. Thank you. Now what? Is there anything else I can do to help you? It's interesting that we can ask him about the blaster. What can you tell us about it? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with this sort of thing. Perhaps you should take it to Lieutenant Gren. He may be of more help. Okay. Is there anything else I can do to help you? Let's go with that. The incident at the docks confirms one of my fears. The gunmen were from the Exchange. Czerka has hired the criminal syndicate to work against us. Uh-oh. Long have I suspected that Czerka and the Exchange worked together, the former supplying manufactured arms to be sold via the latter's black market channels. Now, with the TSF keeping a closer eye on Czerka activities, the corporation has turned to the Exchange to be its fist on Citadel Station. Okay, what is there to be done? Czerka and the Exchange must be stopped. Well, that's enough. I'll be going. Now, we gotta stop these guys. What you say is true, but up until now we have had little success in dealing with them. I've tried to meet with the leader of the Exchange here, a Quarren called Lopak Slusk. He has refused my every invitation and allows no one inside the Exchange suites. I fear he does not take us seriously. The Jedi, though, are renowned as warriors and diplomats both. Perhaps you might speak with Lopak, show him the value of a restored Telos. Okay, I told you I'm not a Jedi. Or I'll go speak with them. Now, on the one hand, it might seem kind of odd that, like, oh yeah, let's go speak to the crime boss and try to convince him that this is the right thing to do, essentially. That, you know, there's value in a restored Telos. I guess that could be taken as there's, you know, financial gain or something, but it seems like it's also kind of like, oh yeah, show him the value of restored Telos. Some financial, but probably also the good of the planet kind of thing. Which might seem odd, but I'm thinking there actually is precedent with, I don't know, like with the Mafia, how much this happens, but I know, like in Japan with Yakuza, there is often a bit of like a group wanting to appear to have good relations with the people and stuff. Like, okay, we'll do things to help people out because we're not just interested in money, we're also interested in power and influence, and having the people like us helps that out better than, you know, just being the villains. And I've heard of, in cases of like natural disasters and things, sometimes, you know, the criminal organizations will be ones to help with relief efforts, you know, because they want to be seen as like the saviors of the people. And, you know, in some cases, you know, they'll have like reputation as almost like Robin Hood type figures of, yes, they are doing illegal crimes, but they're doing it for the good of the people, and we sincerely believe that. So it's possible, depending on what type of crime boss this Trusk guy is, that even just convincing him that, like, yeah, this will be for the good of Telos, he might think like, ah, yes, having Telos restored would be beneficial to the people here, and if we're involved, that could also be beneficial to us as well. So it's interesting. We'll have to see what direction we go with, or it could just be that we're just trying to convince him it'll be profitable. That could be it as well. But either way, I'll go speak with him. I am most grateful for your assistance. I will guide my thoughts towards your safety, and Lopak's as well. Infiltrator gloves. Sorry, what were you saying there? I missed the end because, again, the Ithorians talk way faster than you would expect. Lopax as well. I wish harm upon no one. Okay. And I mean, honestly, if a crime syndicate is flat out placing a sign outside their front door saying, "Here we are," how illegal are their activities really? Okay, so let's see what was. Okay, so we have a modified holdout blaster. So this was the weapon we picked up. Not a particularly powerful weapon, but it has a chance to stun and it'll hit easier. This blaster was being carried by a masked thug. It shows signs of illegal modification, which seems strange for the strictly policed Citadel Station. Again, have we actually seen these police? They are. It really is not that surprising. Okay, this is all showing up as new because it was stored in the locker and we got it out. Let's see, where was infiltrator gloves? Here we go. Dexterity +2 and increased computer use and security. Ooh, Atten might like these. These gloves are equipped with an advanced artificial intelligence unit that the wearer can use to tap into nearby computer systems through cables or wireless transmission. The system also stabilizes the wearer's hands for fine detail work. Okay. And the stealth field enhancer was another one. Stealth +4. A specialized espionage unit designed to get the most out of a stealth field generator by improving the user's perception of the field while in stealth mode. Okay, I guess by improving your perception of the field, they're saying like, okay, you know exactly how far the field extends, so you can more easily make sure you're staying inside of it, or that it's not going to interact with stuff and give you away, maybe. I don't know. Let's see, does Atten have stealth? He does have some ranks in stealth, so okay, let's go ahead and instead of an adrenaline amplifier, wait, no, that's, what is it? Is it stealth field enhancer? Okay, instead of the spacer sensors, which were dexterity +1, we'll give you the stealth field enhancer. And then instead of the insulated gloves, we'll give you the infiltrator gloves. Okay, so net gain of 1 dexterity and some boosted skills. Okay, Atten's definitely turning into like our skill guy, and now he's got some cool shades. So, alright, so I think that about wraps it up for our time. So, it looks like next time we're probably going to have to go to the TSF, and as useless as they are, they might be able to help us advance this quest a bit, learn more about the assassin. And we're going to go to the exchange and see if we can talk to Slusk. So, and then we did encounter the 2 assassins, or 2 killers that we let escape, and so they're presumably on their way down to the planet's surface, which I guess means at some point we'll go down to the planet's surface. I guess we figured that out when we had to go chase when we were told that our ship is down at the planet's surface. But we'll probably encounter them down there and deal with them as well. So next week, actually I don't know if next Monday I should be streaming. Next Friday I think I might be having a week off, so definitely be streaming Monday, and then it'll probably be 2 weeks before we're back to it'll be 2 weeks from tonight probably when we'll be back to Knights of the Old Republic 2. So with that, thank you for joining and have a good weekend, and see you next time. Bye.